cuisine here. To begin this afternoon session, let me extend the organizing committee again a very warm welcome to the audience back at home who are viewing us online on the Facebook Live of Thailand Halal Assembly and also on the YouTube of the Halal Science Center channel. If you'd like to catch up, please feel free to go on Facebook and watch it. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, may I proceed with our second session this afternoon under the topic of tech-driven halal assurance innovation for the current era. So this session, we received the honor of the three speakers. Let me shortly introduce them. One is Professor Dr. Abdul Aziz Buras, Professor at College of Engineering, Qatar University, the state of Qatar. And the second one is Associate Professor Dr. Moramberg Saparov, Associate Professor and Vice Rector for Student Affairs at Paragon International University in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And the last one is Professor Dr. Ahmad Zafar, College of Technological Innovation, Zayed University, the United Arab Emirates. And today we have the honor of Associate Professor Dr. Praradon Suripong from the Halal Science Center, Chulalongkorn University in Chiang Mai campus. Let me briefly introduce our background of our moderator today. So Dr. Paradon, key area of expertise are software engineering, innovation, and also halal science. He received his doctoral degree from the university in France and also Chiang Mai. He has educational background in computer engineering and also in economic from his master degree. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Associate Professor Dr. Paradon Suripong for moderate the session. Thank you. A big round of applause, please.
Thank you, MG. Great honor to be the moderator for this interesting session in this afternoon. Hopefully the lunch will not make you sleepy, but this session is going to be very interesting. We got three extraordinary speakers from three different domains, but related to the technology and digital technology precisely, which is related to the theme of the assembly today, which is digitalizing the halal industry. Okay, because we are running a little bit late, hopefully we can have one or two questions at the end of our speak. But for speaker, we have 20 minutes each, sharp. I'm going to let you know when we mostly run out of the time. Let's start from the first presentation from Professor Abdulaziz Buras from Qatar University about the impact of the climate change on the halal food industry and the role of AI in terms of mitigation and prediction. Yes, please, Professor Aziz. By the meantime, Professor Aziz, are you going to? Oh, right. By the meantime, this is one of the most interesting topics about the climate change. We know that we have a problem of the supply chain and the AI era that can impact the industry in nowadays. And Professor Aziz is going to give us the perspective and how the AI and technology can solve or can help to, this challenge. The time is yours, Professor Aziz. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Dorn. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. I will talk today about the impact actually of climate change, and we see a little bit how or what is the role actually of technologies in general, and specifically what we are developing in terms of AI to mitigate the climate change solutions problems. Sorry. So I wish I could not start with this picture, but this is the reality that we have today. So I think every day we can have a picture like this. This is from last July and June, and you can see a little bit what is happening. So mainly in the summer, people are dying, a lot of countries are suffering, and I come from one of the regions which is really impacted by the heat and the climate change. So what are the causes in general? I think you know them. Probably many of them are natural, and many of them are related to what we are doing as a human. For example, the industrialization and the rapid industrialization, the energy or the way that we are using the energy, the agricultural practices, the deforestation, our consumer practices, transportation, supply chains, and I will give one example related to the supply chain, resource extraction, pollution, and so on. The list is big. So this has definitely an impact on us, social impacts of the climate change. So we know about that, unfortunately. So people are displaced, poverty, hunger, malnutrition, and so on. And mainly global problems everywhere related to the water and energy shortage. And this is a real problem. And we have, for example, in my area, the issues related to the water. Of course, we have solutions, desalination from the water of the seas, but that's not sufficient, and that's not the real solution. If we focus on just one of these causes, or one of these effects, which is the greenhouse gas emission, so if we make a zoom on that, we will see that really we have a big part as a human in this. So as experts are saying that around 20% are related to the agriculture, around 80% to the industry, and then transportation, etc. And the main problem is related to the production of heat, electricity, etc. And if we focus on the electricity, you can see that from 2005, 6 to 2022, 23, 24, the evolution of the demand of the electricity by region is almost double. So just in few years, we are doubling our demand in terms of electricity. So of course, we are talking about renewable energy, solar energy, wind energy. That's perfect, but I'm not sure that we can really continue like that, and I'm not sure that those solutions will really replace or will solve the demand. So it means that we have really to mitigate all this in different ways, and the technology is one of the ways. I'm not saying that the technology is the solution, but it helps us optimizing things and probably mitigating them. So my university, which is Qatar University, it's the unique public university in the country. I think you know about Qatar. It's a very small country. So we have several small universities and one public university called Qatar University. So we are doing a lot of efforts. For sure, it's not sufficient, but we are really focusing on our contribution. For example, we have research centers, the ESC, the Environment and Sustainability Center. We have another one called SDC, Sustainable Development Center, and we have the Center of Advanced Material, focusing really on new intelligent material, smart material to deal with the issues related to climate change and so on. So we have other research units specifically focusing on air quality and water. And as I told you, we are in a region where the water is a real issue. And then, of course, with UNESCO, we have chairs about marine sciences and about desalination, etc., and water treatment. So it's really a huge effort that the university is doing in collaboration. And we have also programs, bachelor, master, and PhD related to environmental sciences and other related fields. Actually, I just put here some fields related directly to the topic of today. So it shows you just that the university is aware about this, and we are part of the Union Nation network about SDGs, etc. So in the Arabic countries, we are really leading one action called ANDD with the UN, about putting the university really in the heart of the SDGs. So if you go to our website, you will see that SDG by SDG, there are 17. You see clearly, publicly, the contribution of the university and what we are trying to do. So these are just few examples. There are many, but to let you know what our researchers are doing. For example, this one is related to using the pits of the dates to fabricate or to build nanomaterials for thermal insulation applications. So the researchers are trying to use the dates, pits, to fabricate or to build or to contribute to the insulation of the buildings for isolation. So this is one of the, let's say, typical applications that probably you cannot find it in other countries because we have a lot of dates, and instead of wasting the pits, so the researchers are trying to use them for the isolation. Another example related to biodegradable plastic bottles. From the hydrocarbon rich sludges as organic fertilizer for soil remediation. So this also another example which is really related to the land of Qatar, and probably the last one related to now we are going to the technology. So we have small robots that are in the city somewhere, and they are just testing the environment. So we call this dynamic environment and traffic monitoring. So in the same time, they give information about the traffic, and in the same time, they are also having, they capture actually all the information related to the environment, and they are using solar energy, so they are autonomous, and they are, you can find them sometimes in the different places in the city. Another one, using the algae as sustainable alternative resources. So you can see here the algae is used actually as an alternative resource because we have a lot of algae around the shore of Qatar. So I'm trying just to give you some examples related really to what we have in the country. This is another example related to the fabrication of advanced membranes for water waste reclamation in the oil and gas industry. So actually it's a kind of filter which is taking the water which is a little bit wasted, let's say, with the oil and then filtering it. So it's a natural operation, and it's something also from the country. And I think the last example related to passive cooling of green. So we have pigs in the farm because we have a farm of the university in the north of the country, and they are making, as you can see here, the foams, the PCM foams, and they are using them as smart solutions or smart material. So all these are small contributions, but of course, there are a lot of others. I'm just talking about some of them. Now, if we go to the technology in ICT in general, and specifically on AI, because we are talking about this, so the AI has the ability actually to analyze, or the possibility to analyze the data. We have now algorithms where you can have millions of data, and we are able somehow to analyze them and to work on predictions from that data. So in general, AI is essential in predicting the climate change patterns. For example, it allows businesses in the halal food industry, halal and not halal, by the way, to anticipate and prepare for potential risks. So this is really very important. So we are not just talking about mitigation of the problems. We are also talking about anticipation or prediction. Provides also valuable insights on changing weather patterns, enabling proactive measures to be taken to ensure food security and sustainability, and helps developing adaptive solutions and strategies to minimize actually the impact. Again, here we are focusing on finding solutions for today, trying to understand the risks for tomorrow, and predicting what will happen. So clearly, AI techniques can help us optimizing the resources allocation. We have a lot of waste today, so we know about this. So AI can really help us mitigating this. It can help us also accurately predicting climate-related risks, improve product traceability and food safety, and I will tell you a little bit about what we are doing in terms of traceability of food, and mainly not really traceability, but supply chain optimization. So this is really something which is really, really very important for the climate change, because our supply chains globally are not resilient, and our supply chains are still not optimized. And then last point is monitoring and maintaining halal standards through the industry, guaranteeing the integrity of halal food production and supply chains. So here it's a mix between AI and some supply chain, blockchain techniques. We are having new techniques today for the safety, for the security, etc., about the information, about the documents, about all the things that you are transporting. And this is very important when it comes to the tracking halal foods. So how can AI help? So in making the systems that we have more efficient. So AI is not a miracle. It's only techniques that help the existing systems. Enable remote sensing and automatic monitoring, because, as I said, we are able to tackle millions of data. So we can remotely actually find solutions and automatic monitoring. It can provide fast approximations to time-intensive simulations. We talk today about digital twins, etc. So that's part of the approximations and simulations that we are doing today to tackle this problem. Support interpretal or causal models. We have very specific models per domain, for water, for oil, etc. That helps also the decision makers. I will not go too much in the techniques, but we have plenty, hundreds of models today, very specific to different problems. So AI and machine learning is only one part of the solution. Again, it's not a miracle. It's only a tool that helps us optimizing, mitigating, etc. It's a tool that enables other tools across the fields, and its performance improves with more data. So we have to understand, and this is the real problem that we have with our students, for example, is we are all dreaming in having or giving lectures or having PhD students and master students using machine learning, but the first thing to think about is the data. Without data set, the student cannot do anything. He can learn about the algorithm, about the way, about the methodology, but if he doesn't have hundreds of thousands of data in his domain or millions of data, then he cannot have an accurate solution. And that's why we say that these models are more performant and improve in the time if they have more data. So it's something dynamic. An AI model, it's not something static that gives you a solution and you are happy. It's a model which is live, dynamic, and you have continuously to give data to it to enhance. It's exactly like the human. We are a baby, we learn a little bit, then we are growing, and more we are growing, more we learn. So an AI algorithm never stops learning. So one of the examples that I wanted to talk today about is a collaboration with Chiang Mai University. It was, I think, 2 years ago, related to a PhD on adaptive decision support systems for smart agriculture. And as I told you, agriculture is one, with the supply chain and etc., is one of the causes actually for the climate change today. So if we optimize solution, for sure, we are contributing to mitigate problems of climate change. So here, to the crop cultivation, and the idea here is really to help the farmers understand, or mainly the young farmers, understand what will happen to their plants, etc., if there is less water, less, or the quality of the soil is not good, etc. So crops maintenance depends on many things like the irrigation techniques, the fertilization techniques, the pruning, the diseases control, if you don't control very well, so you can have problems, the insect pests control, and the weeds control. So all these are parameters, and the farmer, of course, with the experience, he knows how to do. But a young farmer have to learn about this, and the learning curve can take a long time, and unfortunately, the Ajadorn here, that I thank very well for his help, and mainly from the data point of view, as I told you, because if we did not have the data from the farm, from the sensors, etc., the PhD could not be completed on time. So here, as you can see, so it was a collaboration with CAMT, but also with the agriculture, Faculty of Agriculture. And so the student was able to build with other professors these systems that you see, just to have from the sensors all the data related to the crops, etc. And then the idea is to build that adaptive system in the morning, in the middle. So the idea here is having the on-farm data from the sensors, etc., that I showed you. So a lot of things related to the soil quality, related to the water, related to the sun, related to a lot of things. We call that the on-farm data, and we have also the off-farm data, and we have the knowledge of the experts. This is very important, as we have algorithms that can mix different information, different data. So the idea here is to mix from the data coming from the sensors, but also the rules that are coming from the experts, because the experts know how to deal with this data. And the idea is to have a kind of expert system in the middle that within the data that we have in real time and the rules from the experts, it can make proposals to the young farmer. So here we talk about data collection, data processing, data storage, analysis, and implementation. And at the end, actually, it's a smart assistive system because we want only the system to give recommendation to the farmer. So globally, if we zoom on this, so we used it for two small applications. One is related to lettuce. You see, for example, from the right, that's a very good one. And now on the left, it's a very good lettuce. And on the right, it's not the good one. So what happened? So the system, gives advice on how to have the best one, because there are some issues related to the water. We are giving too much water, for example, or we are not giving enough water, etc. And also to the longan trees, because longan trees are very important in Thailand. And the idea is really to be sure that the quality of longan is always good. So I think I will not go too much in details, but it looks like this. So we created a chat application at the end, kind of chatbot, that from all this information can give recommendations. Yeah, and just for those who are interested in the technical things, so we used the LSTM model. So you can see here, we have input data, we have output. These are the languages that we used, and the hyperparameters that we used. We used 70% of the data for training and validation. So this is very important. When you talk about artificial intelligence, AI, mainly 70% of the data is used just to learn, to help the system understanding, and only 30% for testing and validation of your system. So that's why we need a huge amount of data. Here, for example, we had millions of data coming from the sensors to make this. So this is the chatbot. I think it's in Thai, so you can understand. So from all the information that we had from the use of AI, so it's very simple. So it's recommendations. It's a chatbot to recommend actually the next steps for the farmer. So here the output, as I said, it's an appropriate amount of water for longan, for example, trees. So it looks simple, but it's not simple because, you know, they are giving to the trees every week, I think, water, and the amount of water is very important. If you give a little bit more, you can kill the tree. If you give less, then the quality is not good. So having the exact amount is very important. Appropriate, or I cannot read from here, but anyway. So there are different recommendations. I have small issue on the screen, but it's okay. Then the second application is related to the supply chain resilience. As I told you, supply chain today is one of the big problems when it comes to food industry, to food safety, etc. And our supply chains are not resilient. So this is a project that we did in Qatar with one of the transportation company. It was mainly during the World Cup, and it was mainly to be sure that all the people in the country can go to the stadium on the right time, etc. Because we are a very small country. We have one big city in which we have all the stadium for the World Cup. So we had 8 stadiums, and we have to be sure that all the people can be in the stadium on time for the game. And you can imagine having 8 games or 4 games, I think, 4 games maximum per day. And if someone wants to go to the 4 games, then it's a real challenge. So that's why the supply chain for people and goods, etc., should be really optimized and resilient. So here, we were interested mainly on using AI techniques for the integration between the supply chain systems. Today in the industry, it's very known in the supply chain. You have different implementation, different systems, and they are not integrated. Very difficult. Why? For many reasons. Because they are not using the same, let's say, mindset. When you develop a CAD/CAM system, a design is completely different than when you define an ERP. The meaning or the mindset in the design is completely different than the meaning or the mindset in the production, in transportation, the customer. We have different points of views, and at the end, we don't talk somehow the same language, and that's why the systems that we have are not integrated. The second problem is the vendors, the software vendors. They don't want to integrate them, because if they integrate, everything will be seamless, and then they will lose their market. So everyone is protecting his market, and they don't want to integrate. So there is a fight, and the only solution is standards, like we are talking about standards for halal food, etc. So it's the same thing. So here we were interested in the integration, because what we wanted is the supply chain to be resilient, no waste of time, no waste of products, or etc. And the second thing is related to the transformation of the contracts. Very specific point. The company wanted that the contract to be like smart contracts. Automatically, we can generate a contract between the suppliers and the company, and then it is seamless, and then we don't waste time, because contracts sometimes take 6 months, probably 1 year in terms of negotiation. So here the idea is to automate that to make the supply chain resilient. And so the example that I'm taking in terms of integration is mainly related to the ERP. So we are using SAP and Odoo as tools. And from the other side, we used actually as an intermediate system for the integration, blockchains. So we are using Hyperledger, one of the very known systems today. It's open source, so that's very important for our students. They can access to it, and they can develop. And the idea is really to have a seamless communication between these two systems. So I will not go. How much time I still? Finished? 20 minutes finished? Okay, so 2 minutes. So here is just technical. I will escape this. The anomaly detection is something very important in supply chain, because we think that the supply chain is something which is working, no problem. Actually, the softwares make mistakes, like us. And having a mistake means that you are killing the supply chain. If you have a mistake somewhere, the customer is not happy, the supplier is not happy, then we will lose a lot of time. So here we are using AI also to try to understand what are the mistakes that we have, and from the hundreds of thousands of mistakes that we have in databases, then we can mitigate, and we can actually understand and replace the mistake, correct, or at least say that we have a problem. So, so here again, For the AI, we need always to train our systems. Then we have to make the prediction, etc. And we go to the supply chain. Sorry, I don't have time to explain this. For the smart systems, it's very simple. So here we have, always we have the contracts as documents or as rules in the information systems. In the ERP, for example, it's clearly said that if you are late by 1 week, you pay, for example, something. If you are late by 1 day, you have a penalty. So those rules are also like contracts. So we try to automate everything, and we make what we call the smart contracts at the end. So we use also some techniques to generate this called NLP. These are AI techniques, NLP, and LSTM as techniques. I will not go deep in the so it works like this. So here we recognize actually the entities from the documents, and then we recognize the link between them, the relationship between them. So we created actually apps, and the tool is ready now. It's a prototype, but it's working. So we have an app, and we made tests actually in Qatar, in the industrial zone, where we have 4 suppliers and the metro of Qatar to see that to be sure that the supply chain is optimized and it is resilient, etc., etc. We introduced, of course, errors, etc. I don't have time to go through this, but we proved actually to the customer that it's working and that the errors have been corrected automatically, thanks actually to the supply chain. And so we patented the work, and we have a book. So if you are interested, I can give you the link for this. And just to conclude, yeah. So again, AI brings a potential. I may say potential because we are really, really at the beginning. So people who are saying that AI solves everything, that's false. Why? Because what we are doing is very specific. AI, it's an algorithm. From the beginning, we know what are the features for the algorithm and what we want from the algorithm. So it's not universal. It's not the human taking care about the supply chain, for example. So it solves only one family of problems, no more, but it has a very big potential. Now, the issues that we are having in our application, like everywhere in the AI, is all the issues related to, or risks related to the ethical implications. I think if you use ChatGPT or other tools, or you may probably know about this, the answers are depending always, or biased, they are depending always on the answer and the context. If you ask ChatGPT about what is happening today in Palestine or Israel, so you may not have the same answer depending on how you ask the question. So everything can be biased, and we have to take care. So ethical things are always there. Just I invite you, if you have time, to this conference, which will be held also in Bangkok in next July. It's also talking about similar topics related mainly to the life cycle management. When you create a plane or a drone, you have to think about the sustainability. You have to think how to recycle it, etc. So we have a big community working on this called the International Federation of Information Processing. So we are chairing that, and it will be here, and we will have a lot of industries, visits to the industry to talk about all this issue. Thank you very much. So sorry for that.
Thank you, Professor Aziz Buras, for interesting topic. Unfortunately, we have a limited time, and 20 minutes never enough. Can we keep the question at the end? Because at the end of the day, we're going to have the cruise, and the boat will not wait for us. Sorry. Yeah, but we are happy to have a question and discussion after this. Then can we go to the second speakers, Associate Professor Merembek Shaparov from Paragon University, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So this is one of the interesting topics. The things cannot be happen without the human, and to make things happen, the education is very important. So he will touch about the education and relationships. Please.
How to? Okay. Can I talk? Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So my topic is how halal technology can build strong relationships. So, oh, sorry, I forgot that. So I will talk about technology, about halal, way of thinking, current solutions, and last one, what can be solutions. So let's talk about technology. So technology have positive and negative, pros and cons. So technology can be, as a pros, collaboration and shared interests. We can use it. Increase connectivity, enhance communication. On the other hand, technology on relationships can bring distraction, disconnection, miscommunications, and different comparisons and unrealistic expectations. So we are talking about technology, and we must know both sides. We cannot only go by one side. This is the advantage and disadvantage of technology in our daily life, and it will be more in future. Okay, now let's talk about halal. Mostly when we say halal, people think about food. It's a classic one, but because I see it even in Cambodia, it's have this one. So, but we have halal certification, we have food and beverage, halal education, Islamic finance, halal tourism, and continues. So when we say halal, it's not just one side of food. It's a big, huge area to grow and big, huge area to where we need to maybe invest, think about how we can do it, and look globally, not locally. Okay, so here we have, because it's home reference, I like this surah, it's Surah Asr. It says a very important thing for us to think, that people are in lost. At the beginning, people are in lost. Whatever we will do, why I show this technology, whatever we do, we are in lost. Each technology that we will do, it will be in lost, like an investment. So who will win? The win who have believed to this technology, that will be helped. The people who do right things with this technology and advise it everyone to the truth and to the patience. So that's why I select the communication and relationship, because now technology is growing and we need to rethink or think about how this technology can be helpful to the human and what will be our solutions and what can we do for this one. To go this one, I want to give one example. Before going it, the current solutions, it's like we have halal food traceability in Malaysia. We have in Thailand halal Thai halal products with halal link, that different kind of solutions. We have Islamic finance technology, like Wahed Invest, and halal certification management system. So we already going to this area, and it becomes to be more and more. Why I go to my topic of relationship? So this is a topic that I think we need to think it now, because in the future, after 3 or 5 years, because of the growth of AI and other virtual reality, whatever, maybe we will be late. But before going it, I want to go a little bit history. So when our prophet go from Mecca to Medina, he makes some actions or events. So one of the first was making a mosque, but it was not only for pray, it was pray, education, community meetings. The main idea was this: establish the constitution of Medina, establish brotherhood and solidarity, establish economic and social stability, like by trade, by commerce, by social welfare, strengthen relationship with neighboring communities, and spreading the message of Islam. So, and continues. This was done our prophet. So, like, we also need to look to the history to understand how it works. So, I just select one topic here as my research topic. So, it was building the first mosque. when our Prophet built our first mosque, they have three main ideas of it. The first one is to pray. Second was to educate, and the last one, like one of the main last one, is communication. So now the world becomes to be a small Medina. Like here we are, and a lot of people are here from different parts of the world. And we need to learn how to communicate with each other. The same was problem for our Prophet when he go to Medina. Different people are there in the city, in the Medina, and he needs to communicate. So he think about how to do this, and the solution was this. How we can do it using technologies? This is a question what we must ask from ourselves. Okay? Because communications are where the main idea of communication is the trust. Okay? So this is questions that I asked by myself, and I go by this thing, and I'm also looking for about. And what I'm thinking about now I'm thinking how to make a communication system. I just put it halal. It's a little bit strange to put halal communication system, but just to show it. Aiming to improve existing communication systems. So we cannot make a new communication system. We already have. So we don't need to invent new things. We can use our ready things, communication styles, but how we can improve it? This is maybe to improve our existing mass email system or other things that it have a repeatable pattern and automates the process by providing an effective way of doing things. Why is this important? Because of this. So if you look from current communication systems, what are people, how we can make this process simple? Can we use a WhatsApp, or can we use a mail, or what we can use to make it simple? Like if you look for solution of Prophet, it was mosque. It was very solution. It was very easy solution. People knows where to go, that's all. Second one, shorten workflow. Straight to the point. This is the main question that I have in my mind. And unfortunately, I don't know. Because now we are here, maybe 40 people are sitting here. And when I need to spread my information, I don't want to send information to everyone because it will be spam. So someone have kids, someone doesn't have kids. So I want to send a message only for parents who have kids. And they have also ages. Why? Because if we go by last one, like Facebook, the Facebook uses the marketing. We also use marketing, but Facebook makes use for money making. And this is a problem. I said you, communication's main source is trust. How I can do a system and people will not trust it. So it must go to the direct to the point, but it must not buffer others. So it must be marketing, but not marketing in what way we know, where we make money. It must be marketing in way of trust. And this becomes very, very, very important. Why? Because now data is growing, communication is growing, digital things are growing, our generation using this technology is growing. Like a joke, like in the kitchen, mother writes to their WhatsApp, hey, come on, let's eat the food. Not talking. So for me, now I don't have solution. If you ask me, I don't have solution. But I know that this will be a big problem. Maybe it will be a big problem for whole world, but let's go for Muslims. And we need to clarify about it. That's why I showed the Asr Surah. So any technologies that we will do here for the solution will be lost. So we need to believe it. We must put it in the trust, and we must be in patience to be sure that people will use it and it will help. Because now we are in the age of technology, we are at the age of AI. Some people can be afraid of it, of using it, I don't know. But the main pros is this. What about main disadvantage? Cons is that scheduling conflict. Okay. So one day we sometimes have maybe 5, 10, 100 emails and different messages. Urgent communication problem. And the last one is a spam. So after sometimes even very important message becomes very unimportant of these spam emails or email messages or whatever. And this is what I'm thinking as using technology. And we need to think how we can use this, let's say, how we can use these communication systems as a more research. This is a question that we must ask from us, not as only scholars, as parents, as leaders, and other things. In other hand, I don't know, like we cannot be sure what will be next. And it comes, unfortunately, we can see that it comes. I think my presentation was very small, very little bit. That's all from my side. So this is my contacts, and that's all. If you have any questions, you're welcome, or we can wait.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Marembek. We can continue for the third speaker, and after that, if we have spare time, then we can. No, I don't think so. Okay, for the last presenter, Professor Ahmed Sefa from Zayed University, Abu Dhabi, UAE. So he's going to give us extraordinary topic on the digital twin, which is quite interesting to support the concept of from farm to fork. Okay, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pradhan. So it's a real pleasure to be here. Assalamu alaikum. So I will try to make it very short, and then like we keep the time for discussions. It's better. So there are two things that I really want to highlight in this presentation. First is the use of technology, not only to support sustainability, but also to change somehow the mindset of humans, how we think sustainability and and how we can be sustainable. And the second thing is a sort of association network that we are creating that we call COCORAI, to group together researchers from different fields that are morally interested about sustainable farming and mainly how to reduce the consumption of natural resources, from waste of food to also fertilizers, water, energy, etc. So I'm working in Emirates, and today is a special day for us in Emirates because it's the national day. So we have two campuses, one in Abu Dhabi and another one in Dubai, so you are welcome to visit. So I'm a professor of software engineering, which means I'm developing software for almost 35 years. And during the last 15 years, I was focusing on developing software system to support sustainable development, but at the same time, looking for the sustainability and how much software systems are green themselves because they consume a lot of energy also. And during the last day, I was more interested to develop software that embed artificial intelligence because, you know, for me, as a software engineer, artificial intelligence will happen when we implement it in software system, because at the end of the day, this is what it is. So I'm looking for sustainability and how much citizens can be sustainable, making citizens somehow happy. But at the same time, one of the fundamental issues that we are looking for is how to get engaged via the use of technology, human more sustainable, what we call the human sustainability. So, but for sure that on an everyday basis, my job was always to make secure software that protect our privacy, truthfulness, usability, learnability. So this one, the things that we were doing. Now, this is an example of an application because the whole topics for this conference is about digitalization. So one of the basic things is that you have here an example of an applications that mainly aims to encourage people to consume local products in a circular economy. So you are living in a certain area, you are looking for a product, so you can put your address and you can see the farm nearby from where you can order or buy foods. But recently this application started implementing one of the algorithm in machine learning, in the sense that the system itself start learning from all the data that are injected by a human in the system to make some recommendations. And that's where systems are becoming more and more somehow intelligent. So this is an example of an application of the concepts that I'm going to tell you about from farm to the fork. So it's an application that connect farmer with consumers. Now, like in all domains, ICT is also going more and more in agriculture, and I will show you a couple of examples. So the rationale of all the projects that I was doing in the last 3 years was mainly to look at how ICT or how software system can support somehow agriculture, but mainly at the same time making the agriculture more sustainable. As I said, by reducing the consumption of natural resources. So, but one of the things that is happening today is the human, the systems, and the physical things are being more and more connected. Well, because of Internet of Things or whatever you think so. Farmer, factories, market are connected. I will show you some few examples. So one of the specific projects that we are doing is we created the kind of platforms to assess how people are using fertilizer, pesticide, how they are consuming energy and water in farms. So collecting data, as Professor Boras said, data is important for making system intelligence and for, the concept of farm to fork is something that is promoted by the European Unions and all European countries. So the idea is mainly like to build systems or to rethink the entire food system to make it more fair, to make it more healthy, and to make it environmentally friendly. So these are wishes for these things. So, and I think ICT can do a lot of things there. Now, on a daily basis, from one side, I have the farming practices of today. From the other sides, I have some enabling technology. I call them enabling technology, like data visualization, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence. There are other things, maybe like citizen observatory. Like this is a kind of things that we are building, like to collect data from the citizens themselves for doing research. And also the concept of metaverse, and you heard about all this technology. Now, I want to apply this to change the practices, but changing the practices to make them more sustainable. So this is the 4 R of sustainability, from rethink, reduce, reuse, recycle. So the idea for us was to see how this technology can support those practices, but making them more aligned with the sustainability principles. So this is the type of system that we are interested in. Now, concretely, an example of a project, we have a greenhouse, and in greenhouse today, like it's very easy for us, like I can tell you, as a technologist, it's very easy to put many sensors inside the farm to collect different types of information. These are data that we can collect from directly the farm, but then we build what we call the digital twin. So what is the digital twin? Is mainly the system that will collect all this data with the goal to build a model, for example, for footprints, for the use of energy, for the use of water, etc. Then, if we are able to model all this stuff, then we will be able to provide the tool for anyone to make decisions. And you can make decisions from everywhere, because from your mobile phone, you can control the greenhouse based on the information that you can set. So, again here, one message. It's not intelligence, artificial, that is going to make us intelligent. Not at all. Like, humans are humans, and humans are the intelligent things. So, but this is the type of systems in which, or the type of system that we are trying to build. Now, there are many other examples, but here, like this is what I told you. Today, when we talk about software system, it's very tightly connected to the physical world, but at the same time to the humans. And this is an example. You have soil, you have a truck, and you have the farmer. They are very connected together. Like, at the same time, so he can, because the machine is collecting a lot of data. The data is real-time analyzed, and he can also see at the same time the nature of the soil and what he is doing. So this integration is very important. So it's one of the pillars for the next generations of systems. So what are we doing exactly? So we consider that the digital twin is a kind of ecosystem. Actually, it's a system of systems, as I will show you later, where we are exploring how this technology, mainly virtual reality, machine learning, deep learning, data analytics, visualizations, how they are all contributing together and being in the service of humans. So humans, software systems are also connected. Now, as I mentioned, like technology is here today, and I will not spend so much time about this, so everyone knows about the IoT and the many sensors that exist. They are very powerful, but there are many others, more and more coming. But I will tell you about this experiment that we are doing. And probably you will not see it in the next 5 years, but maybe in the next 10 years. We are connecting directly humans to the plants, which means in 10 years, if you are a farmer, you can communicate, you can interact with your plants. In the morning when you get up, your plants will tell you, I need water. Now, for sure that today we can do it, and we did it. We did it in an experiment. I have cherry trees in my house in France, and my students who were working from Europe, we put some sensor there, and from small mobile applications, I can collect all the parameters. So there is no difference that I receive the message in text from the sensor, or the message can be converted into a voice, and the plant tell me, good morning, I need water. So there are some experiments currently done in labs, and so this is one of the things that I told you, the connections between the human and the physical things. For sure that Dr. Aziz, who took some extra time, so he tell you about data and the importance of data, so I'm not going to stay there. Well, the concept of citizen observatory, this is coming from the field of citizen science, where a long time ago, an ornithologist, the person who observed birds, was trying to understand the movements of birds from Canada to the south in winter. And he was never able to be in a place where they are going, because they can go everywhere. So what he did is he encouraged all citizens to observe the birds, and whenever they observe, they send him data about their observation. So the idea of citizen science comes from there. You cannot imagine, if you want to save energy today, you cannot imagine how much it is useful to get information from citizens. Actually, it is even called citizen-generated data. And I used it so much at the time where I was in Finland before coming to Emirates. We did a project about citizen data and how citizens can collect data and what is the importance of data. So this technology is extremely important for the sustainability issues. Because as I said, we collected data from different places and so. Now, the second thing is what is being called smart farming. You know, like even your mobile phone today include by default many sensors, but there are many, many others coming. I think one of my master students collected that today are more than 100 very powerful sensors and very effective that can be used in agriculture. And for sure that when you collect the sensor, it takes that we develop small applications, like mobile applications, and you go to the field and you just show your phones. It is being connected with all the sensors, and you can get this data. The problem is to present the data to the farmer. You know, like you have to visualize the data, and this is a challenge. This is a real challenge for me as a researcher. Otherwise, the technology will not be useful. There is another concept called cognitive farming, which is a global visions of what is a farm. And yeah, actually, the concept of cognitive farmer is that you didn't think necessarily just about the product coming from the farm, but you have to consider the work of the farmer, the lands, the environment. It's an integrated view of the concept of farm. You know that in the period of industrializations, the farm was just to produce. more kilograms of tomatoes, more potatoes. That's all. Here we have an integrated view, and that's what it is called, why it is called cognitive. It's an integrated view to look at to all the parameters at the same time. The farmer, the farm, the environment, the supply chain management, what the end consumer think, and so on. Another technology that we exist, and we did a lot of experiment, it's about virtual reality versus augmented reality, where you have a combination of the virtual world and the real world to a totally a metaverse where you immerse yourself in a virtual world and you have the avatar which represents the farmer and etc. Very interesting things to do at the. So we did so many experiments in all these things. Now, one of the fundamental projects that I'm working on is collecting data about the grounding foundations of agriculture system. I called it the agriculture genome. It's like the DNA. And what is the DNA for me is to think about these 5 different things. The seeds and the germinations, the weather and the climate, the integrated pest management. You know that bees are extremely important, the nature of the soil and the water. So basically we are collecting data and modeling these 5 fundamental processes in agriculture. Then we can apply them to other type of things for the traceability. This is another examples that we are looking for and creating an application for composts. And this is the last things that I can mention, where we are trying to build, and we start already deploying this in 2 places, in Uzbekistan and in Algeria, where we have a container, and we are trying to put in that container like a package of software system to make the farm connected by supporting the irrigation system, the reuse of wastewater, especially for a small farm, like why we have to not recycle the wastewater and reuse it in agriculture. And we are trying to package everything in a small maritime container that we can move from one place to another one. And we are trying to make this solution as effective as possible for small farms, not necessarily. That's all. I think I was on time.
Yes, perfectly. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Ahmed Sefa, for a very interesting talk about the digital twin. I guess we can have one question, no more, if you have. Okay. Otherwise, actually, we all, as speakers, we are very happy to for question, and we will be with all of your participants until the end of the day, until tomorrow. So please feel free to say hi and ask the questions. And time is running out, and we're going to have another interesting topic session in the next session. So I return the microphone to the MC. And thank you very much for all speakers, Professor Abdelaziz Bourras from Qatar, Dr. Marembek from Paragon University, Professor Ahmed Sefa from Said University from UAE. Thank you very much. Thank you all the audience and participants. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much to our speaker and moderator for this session. On this occasion, may I now have the honor to invite Associate Professor Dr. Pragon Priyagon, Director of the Halal Thailand, Director of the Halal Standard Institute of Thailand, to present some tokens of appreciation to our speaker. Please, on the stage. First, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Abdulaziz Bouros, please on the stage. Next, allow me to invite Associate Professor Dr. Moramberg Chapara from Paragon International University, Cambodia. And next, may I allow me to invite Professor Dr. Ahmed Safa from College of Technological Innovation, the United States of Emirates. Okay, may I kindly request all of the speakers to have a group photo on the stage, please. And also, can I invite our moderator to receive the token of appreciation on the stage, please. Now it's time for the group photo session. Again, ladies and gentlemen, can I have a big round of applause for all the speaker and moderator for the second session. Okay, thank you very much for all the speaker and moderator, and also thank you so much to Associate Professor Dr. Pakorn Priyakorn. So, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished audience, as we are now behind the schedule, and it might cause some effect to our evening program. So, allow me to proceed for our third session of this afternoon. However, we have already arranged and prepared some coffee break outside the conference room. Please feel free to take some during the session to freshen your afternoon session. Before we proceed to the next session, may I remind you that we would appreciate for your kind evaluation for our arrangement of the conference. So please help us do some assessment by scanning on the code presented on the stage right now. We would appreciate your valuable comment and feedback for our development in the next year events. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, may I proceed to the next session under the topic of harnessing technology for Halal advancement in food, cosmetic, and natural product in industry. So for this session, we receive the honor of Professor Dr. Pakorn Priyakorn as our moderator, Professor Dr. Prakarn Priyagan is now currently the director of the Halal Standard Institute of Thailand. He's been the representative of Thailand to the Standard and Metrology Institute for Islamic Country under the OIC, and he was the former dean of Graduate School of Public Administration at the National Institute of Development Administration. So the floor is yours. Please, Dr. Prakarn Priyagan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa bihi nasta'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the third session of this year Thailand Halal Assembly 20 and 23. This session is the combination between two events. The first event is the 16th HASIP, Halal Science, Innovation and Business. And the second event is the 9th International Halal Standards and Certification Convention. We have the honor from three speakers from three countries. One from Indonesia, the second from Turkey, and the last one is from Bosnia. This session is called Harnessing Technology for Halal Advancement in Food, Cosmetic, and Natural Product Industries. The first speaker is Dr. Evelina Augustine Rohayu. She is the Vice Chairman, Director of Assessment and Domestic and Foreign Affairs in the Assessment and Research Institute, Halal and Thayyiban, under the Muhammadiyah in Indonesia. Her area expertise is cover mainly on halal and the safety, food safety management. She got a master's degree in professional of food and nutrition technology from Bogor Agricultural University in Indonesia. Her topic is very interesting, that it is about the role of halal ingredient traceability corner invented by Muhammadiyah in Indonesia. He's going to present to you research work on a solution for micro and small enterprises to provide halal Thayyiban food and its traceability. May I invite Sister Evelina Augustine Rohayu. Now the floor is yours.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya mursalin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. First of all, thank you for the committee already invite me to this fruitful event. And thank you also for the moderator that already introduced me to this session. Actually, the title of my today presentation address the challenging in implementing halal certification with the traceability for micro small enterprises, especially in Indonesia, because in Indonesia, our micro small enterprises constitute 90%, over 90% of our food business operator. And of course, we recognize to fulfill the halal requirement makes no difference, even for the micro small enterprises. And here today, it is a kind of the initiate to collect the data from our food business operator, that mainly micro small enterprises. So when you talk about the AI, blockchains, I think without the meticulous data, so we can, especially Indonesia, we can find the good traceability. And before I start my presentation, I would like also to introduce a little bit about our organization here. So my organization here, the Assessment of Research Institute of Halal, Halal and Toiban of Muhammadiyah. Actually, we are as one of the main halal inspection body that approved by our government. Yeah, so it is also kind of my advertisement. If you have problem with the certification in Indonesia, so you can collaborate with us. Here, this little bit the information of our organization. Actually, we have 171 universities under one umbrella of Muhammadiyah. Yeah, and then only less than 20% from our university, this already established the halal center. Actually, we have now 23 halal center from Muhammadiyah that support our halal inspection body in Indonesia. We call this LPHKHT. And actually also with this approval from government, so all the scope, yeah, that service for the audit, so we already cover this, yeah. So 15 services, so we can do in our organization. And here this our this Indonesian, we have 6 big island, so we are so diverse, yeah. So when you seen here, I'm sorry, you seen here, so the population in Java Island, the place that I live also, this approximately this 56% is one the most densely populated area in the world, yeah. And if you see the in very east of Indonesia, this we call Papua, so this only 3%, yeah. So then the implementation, I mean the impact or for the application for the halal also so big difference. Yeah, so this is our problem, but also be our opportunities. And then here, so for this reason, because I want only Muhammadiyah also want to focus with the 90% of our food business operator that are micro small enterprises, because as you know, we are in Indonesia, most of us are Muslim. So actually 90% of them are Muslim that own halal. Yeah, so for this reason, I would like to, our organization would like to concentrate, to focus how to build, yeah, to build the halal certification with the traceability for the micro small enterprises. So here our small survey for the using of food additive ingredients or ingredients by MSE. So we survey on the 185 respondents, but most of them is located in Java, and we do survey nationwide in using Google Form in collaboration with other community, other Muhammadiyah in Indonesia. And with this survey, yeah, most of respondents agree on having specific place to provide the ingredient with detail on repack product. I will tell you later our condition in Indonesia. And here, this is one of our rationale behind to initiating this survey, because this is the report from Industry Ministry of Indonesia that 60% of the food beverage industry raw materials is from the imported product, and mainly the meat and also particular ingredients such as, you can say the gelatin is very, very critical in halal perspective. And then also again, our FBO, Food Business Operator Indonesia, more than 90% are micro small. And here you can see the picture here, the country that export to our country, this mainly from China. So my colleague from China said, if you think about China, you just consider it's poor country, they said. Yeah. And then another is from Australia, US, and also New Zealand, mainly this for the dairy ingredient. And also, this is from this survey, we also collect the primary information from our customer department under ministry, under finance ministry. You see here that the MSG that Prof. Winay Dalhan already explained about the case in Indonesia in 2001. That time I was auditor in LPPOM. Yeah, actually I'm as auditor in halal certification, the previous halal certification for 20 years. Yeah, and then at that time the MSG also became a big problem regarding the issue of using the enzyme from porcine. And here you see this picture. So this is the last 4 years. This is the number of our import, of monosodium glutamate, MSG. And you see here, so in the last 4 years, so they're still high for the MSG, and also this is part of the critical material in halal perspective. And then also with the sweetener, the sweetener also, you see here, the highest number of the sweetener is sorbitol, and then continue with the aspartame and saccharin. In Indonesia, also we talk, it is about if we come to the health perspective, so this become also an issue, because they use also this sweetener to the product that not used to use. For example, this, of course, the sweetener, this for the person that who wants to diet and also got the diabetic mellitus problem. But they added also the sweetener to other meat. We call this traditional meat in Indonesia. And then here, the emulsifier, this I just took this 5 top of this emulsifier. One of this is gelatin. So in the last 4 years, we've seen here that the gelatin is still stable in come to Indonesia. We know the gelatin is very critical, and our government also, through the FDA, Indonesia FDA, ever found that the product using gelatin, this they detect using the pork gelatin. And, and here the snapshot our survey result. So actually the micro small enterprises need halal information for their raw material. You see here. Actually they care, but sometimes they don't know how to get this information. And then also here, the seller actually provide the halal information. Only 26. Because nowadays we've seen that many factory also that already produce the smaller package of the ingredients, but actually it is not micro small business, but they are large business. Yeah. And here also the MSE, so they are agree for to have halal store initiative. And the consideration to have this halal store with the detailed information, here first they need, yeah, most of them say they need the completeness, the ingredients, halal ingredient in one store. And also the consideration regarding the distance and also the services. Okay, another challenge for the micro small enterprises. Next year, Indonesia mandate halal certification per October 2024. Yeah, so that's mean all the product, yeah, that produced locally or even import must have the halal certificate. So the problem is for our MSE. Yeah. So how then they go to the certification? Because I'm still doing also the certification for them. We still facing the problem with the traceability. And here, as I mentioned before, yeah, and also here, our Indonesian Halal Industry Master Plan, they already outlined that the traceability and certification as a key component of Indonesian main strategy in implementing halal product assurance system. Here, the Indonesian Halal Industry Master Plan framework, and I just take this two important point that here the main program and also the main strategy regarding the regulation, halal regulation. So implementing halal product assurance system with the certification and the traceability. That means the traceability regulation mandate compliance at any level of food business operator, including the micro small enterprises. And of course here the challengings facing for MSE, the financial constraint. So they have limited access to have the investment, they have limited access, they have also have the problem with cash flow issue, yeah, and also lack of technology of infrastructure. The lack of the, to have the kind of digital devices, even smartphone, even the computer. So we still have this problem, yeah, and also inadequate internet access, yeah, especially in the east of Indonesia. I've been just last week from Papua, and in some places, I have no at all connectivity, yeah. And also for the complexity of supply chain and limited access of information to halal ingredients, and then documentation and record keeping. So as the previous speaker said, regarding blockchains and regarding AI, this is how we collect the data. But when they have no capacity and they don't get used to the record all of their activities, so even the traceability will not present. And here, the food industry sector in Indonesia, if you see here, yeah, for food processing industry, we have 1.6 million micro small enterprises. Comparing with the large and medium size, it is 200 times. Yeah, the number higher than large and medium size producer. And in the food retail industry, yeah, so our traditional grocery retails held 76% of the market share. Yeah, I will show the example of what they sold in the grocery, the retail grocery, traditional retail grocery. And then it is another sector of food industry. This is food services, yeah. That here in the food services, dominated by small restaurant and street side restaurant that we call warung. Yeah. And this is some example that I got this picture, yeah, when I came to Papua and I go to the store, the retail, the traditional store, and they sold kind of this. I think, I'm pretty sure it is also critical in halal perspective. Actually, this is a kind of emulsifier, but they sold here without any information on the packaging, yeah. Also here, yeah. Even this, I took this picture in my home, in my town in Bogor. So this is also in Java actually. So this is the condition. Okay, this is a common distribution channel that, of course, our organization will focus, yeah, to provide for the micro small enterprises with this area. So for this point, so we initiate to have the halal ingredient traceability corner, we call. Actually, the SITC, this the establishment or facility providing the halal ingredients for micro small enterprises. And of course, this we focus with the repack smaller quantity, and then we provide the ensure meticulous traceability. And before they purchase, they have to register first. Of course, it is to prevent the misissue of halal-related information during process, during production. And then to improve the traceability, we have also established the production process system with also supporting our MSE in maintaining and adhering the halal standard. It is kind of empower our MSE to have the for the higher level of their operation. And it is actually the process. So this our SITC will acting as the distributor, and we buy the product, the ingredients from even from the sources, directly from the sources, and then all the information, yeah, regarding the product, the country origin, establishing product number, register the batch number, and also expired and POC-free facility information. This is the last point is very important for our MUI, because for us, for our MUI, the istihalah, so it's not applied to the pork and its derivative. So that's why the pork-free facility information have to be there. And then the activity, we repack to different weights, and then we establish the QR code, yeah. And then I'm not get used to with this, sorry. And we put the date of repack in the label, and the buyer, yeah, the SME can access the information, the detailed information through the QR code, yeah, for its ingredient after the registration. And also for the production process system, so we said this from warehouse, production to distribution. But when I said this warehouse in the MSE, so don't imagine this big warehouse. Actually, the production site, they have only 9 meters square. Yeah, so they divide for warehouse and for production. So from this point, so we also treat them to have this FIFO, and also for the production, we ask them to put their formulation and yield or their result, and also the production code. And for distribution, of course, we identify whether they do the direct selling, online, even though for drop shipping. Here the example, yeah, this is, of course, this very, very initial and very simple technology for them. But for this also, I'm not sure all of this our MSC can do, but at least we try to do, our organization would like to do this to help of the 90% of our MSE. So the information will appear on this, barcode. So as you seen here, so we also provide the certification and also the COA and the country of origin, batch number, and halal certificate logo with the number, and pork free facility statement. And it is also make easier for auditor. When auditor come to do the audit, so they just scan with the barcode on the packaging, so they got the information. Normally, it's very difficult, especially for the meat, when the distributor doing repack in a smaller quantity, and we don't have any information related to this product. And also with the production process system, so we do some paperwork there. So then the MSE can only, the system is already there, they only can input, yeah, the information that they have. So from this also we teach them how to do the cost control, yeah. Okay, this is my last presentation. Actually, how we simplify halal product tracking using user-friendly application is very important, especially in Indonesia for 90% micro small enterprises. And of course, the integrity shall be applied. And at the end, halal for consumer, for Muslim consumer is not a choice, yeah, but it is our need. By implementing halal certification with the traceability, of course, the product become quality and also inclusive choice. Then for that point, halal is for everyone. As mentioned in our holy book, Ya Yuhannas, kulu mimma fil ardi halalan toiban. This verse address to all of human. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for your contribution on one of the interesting project on helping micro and small enterprises in one of the biggest country of the world. Now we come to the next presentation by our friend from Turkey. I use this term our friend because Thailand working together with CIMIC for 7 years at the moment, because we began the observer of standard and methodology institute for Islamic countries since the 1st January 2017. The presenter, honorable speaker, is Mr. Kaki Kankutaran. Kaki is now an expert in the General Secretariat of CIMIC. He is the secretary of the CIMIC Committee on Standard for Conformity Assessment. His presentation will be as a sort of second part of Mr. Yesan Ovud present this morning, but he's going to go into the detail of what CIMIC try to develop at the moment. The topic is about the new development on OIC Global Halal Quality Infrastructure, or OHAQ, and the use of technology and AI and at CIMIC standardization activities. Mr. Karki, in fact, is a food engineer, and he has been working with CIMIC for a number of years. And we are very keen in terms of having a relationship with him. So may I invite Mr. Karki on the floor, and the floor is yours now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum to all who are here and who are following online. Today I will mention about a bit. Mr. Isan already introduced CIMIC before noon. So I will try to introduce. I have the presentation in two stages. First, I would like to give you some information about the accreditation and accreditation activities and what we are doing in CIMIC with regards to the technology. As you know, we start always with OIC that we are affiliated to. This is the Muslim, the voice of the Muslim world. And you know, CIMIC, you all know PR standards body of the OIC, and we are working on standardization, methodology, and accreditation. And Dr. Pakon already mentioned Thailand is an observer of CIMIC, and they are contributing a lot to CIMIC activities. This is the organization chart of CIMIC. We have standards, methodology, and accreditation. I will mention about the accreditation activities. We have an accreditation council, as we have standards, methodology, and accreditation as the three main areas. According to the CIMIC statute, we have the mandate and AC to establish an accreditation scheme, because from the establishment of the CIMIC, we are always trying to say that, look, if we are talking about conformity assessment activities, it should be based on standards and common standards. And CIMIC is the authority, only authority that can develop and publish standards. So, of course, after we have standards, we have manufacturing, and we have certification, and we have accreditation. So accreditation also should be based on standards. So AC is comprised of the accreditation bodies of the member states. They are governmental institutions. CIMIC is a platform that they come together to develop, to discuss anything related to halal. For after years, actually, after the discussions, we come to conclusion. You know, Mr. Isan explained the quality infrastructure is important, so we develop a document. The abbreviation is OHAC, OIC Global Halal Quality Infrastructure. This has been approved at CIMIC level and then communicated for OIC. That we have reached a consensus on the basics of the halal conformity assessment and accreditation activities, and the idea is to harmonize the procedures all around the world. Again, it should be based on OIC standards. Then, as it was introduced by Mr. Isan, it's very easy. We have manufacturers, certification bodies, and accreditation bodies, all in the right side. We are developing the necessary standards. If each and every of them, follow the implementation, so we will have a system, and in the upper side there is a designated structure. It is like the accreditation bodies recognize each other's systems. So this is also the brief introduction. So we have a designated structure here. The idea is that accreditation bodies should recognize the equivalence of each other's accreditation certificates, so the products will easily move halal halal certified products will easily move from one country to other. And this will be done according to the OICMIC 3 standard. We have OICMIC 2 standard for the halal certification bodies, and we have OICMIC 3 standards for the halal certification bodies. And this standard defines the rules that the halal certification bodies should follow. It's also have the requirements for the peer evaluation system. So this is taken from the standard. This is very easy. As I said, from the establishment of the CIMIC, we are trying to explain this to the world. It's not something new. It has been implemented for the ISO standards. So we say that, look, if you would like to harmonize, this is the system. And you know, after many years discussions, so we have come to a conclusion at OIC level that IFAB, Islamic Forum for Accreditation Bodies, it is an affiliated institution, has been established in Mauritania this year at the OIC CFM meeting. So IFAB will be like a similar sister organization of the CIMIC. It will be internationally independent, impartial institution. It will be based in Saudi Arabia. And it is purpose to develop and maintain MRA. MRA, there is an agreement, and the accreditation bodies should sign MOU and will be a signatory to this MOU. And after that, for example, if Turkish Halal Accreditation Agency is accrediting a product and Malaysia is in the system, then the product will no need a certification, reaccreditation. So this is the important part. This is the resolution of the OIC CFM, Council of Foreign Ministers in Mauritania. It says that this IFAB will follow the OIC standards only for its activities, and it's a very important achievement. Yani, we are now expectations. I will match it with the technology. After this one, we expect that the member accreditation bodies should operate according to OIC 3 standards, and the certification bodies they will operate according to OIC 2 standards, and after that they will become an IFAB member, and after they become a signatory to the MRA agreement, they will accept equivalence of halal conformity assessment activity. This is important because for years we are talking about the OIC standards too. We say that traceability is important, but to be able to do this, the world should use the same standard. After all countries will start, and there are many already using the OIC 2 standards, and after they are accredited, so after the establishment of IFAB, we will have a harmonized system. So after this one, we will have a particular amount of reasonable data, because we are receiving some applications from the companies that are working in blockchain. They say that, look, we can establish a system for the traceability. And it has many opportunities also, because if there is an amount of enough data, we can use it for the marketing. We can see which products are coming from which part of the world, what is missing. So using blockchain and AI, we will have many opportunities, but we have to start first complete infrastructure, start the same standard and same implementation. After that, we will have the many opportunities. So after this part, we will continue as CIMIC to develop the OIC standards, and accreditation bodies of OIC member states will conduct the halal accreditation according to our standard again, and then IFAB will establish the peer evaluation system. They will recognize the equivalence of all accreditation bodies, and as CIMIC AC, we will continue to establish accreditation and certification schemes as per our statute. So regarding technology, for years we discussed OICIMIC 2 and 3 standards. They are very important. But Halal is not only this certification or slaughtering or other issues that has been discussed for many years. We have many gaps to fill. So what we are doing, we are concentrating on development of new standards based on technology. So, for example, very lastly, we organized a training course. Last year, we organized in Uganda. This year, we organized in Bangladesh. And it is about the implementation of our OICIMIC 35 standards. But at the same time, Thailand is an important partner in this training course. We are providing theoretical and the practical parts of the test methods that are developed by our members. For example, Thailand has a method, Turkey has a method, Malaysia has a method on the porcine detection. And we are organizing these trainings mostly in LDCs, yani these developed countries, to give them an idea, to train them, to teach them, how the world is doing with regards to the use of technology. Because, okay, pork is important, but how we will detect? We have to have improved, develop some systems. And after that, we have to compare these systems. So we, as CIMIC, we give importance on these issues also. So we started this project, and we invited the experts from Brunei, Bangladesh, the Maldives, Indonesia, Thailand. So it was a fruitful, and this was some photos from training. I would like to thank again to Dr. Vinay and Dr. Pakon. Alhamdulillah, they have competent staff. I don't know Dr. Hamida is here or not, but they are contributing a lot. We also organize another training. It's a project, ComSec project. It's an OIC institution, and the project is also organized in Saudi Arabia. In this one, we are now working on the development of test method for the detection of porcine in food and cosmetics. So what we are doing, as I told earlier, Thailand, Turkey, Malaysia has their own methods, but we would like to validate it. It works or not, or the laboratories that are using these methods have competency or not. So what we are doing, we are preparing samples. Inside, some of them have porcine, some of them doesn't have. So no one knows what is inside. So we sent to these samples to the laboratories, and they implement these tests, and they don't know what is inside. And after the finishes, they compare the results of their laboratories. So we see that after this implementation, whether the information is correct, the method is right, or quality or efficiency of the laboratory equipment are okay or not. So inshallah, we will use all data for the development of OIC CIMIC 25 standard. This was also from some photos. Again, Thailand representatives are very active in this training. With regards to the theme of this session, technology is important. We have CIMIC information system. It is used by all member state experts for the development on standard, follow-up standards, revision of the standard. It's a web-based. Everyone who has the, authorized by the national standard bodies can access. They can see all the information, what has been done before, what will be the future activities. Standards are both developed at the system. So this year, we are also following the developments. So our IT experts started an innovative R&D project to integrate the artificial intelligence into our CIMIC information system. So the idea is that our experts during the standardization preparation process will get best benefit from the AI activities. So he made some research from the open resources. He, after some reviews, he thought that the open AI can be used as a pre-trained language. So what we have done with regards to development of the standards, we are a standards body, so we have to have our internal rules. We have directives. Our IT experts made this open AI system to learn our directives. So anyone who uses the CIMIC IS can ask the chat box any questions about our directives. The rules are there, and the system has trained. For example, he can ask what will be the rule, for example, for writing any definition or the use of shall or should anything. So we are just at the beginning, and now we have integrated this chat box in the CIMIC IS, and we are now checking it with the experts of our TCs, and the results are encouraging to go on toward the improvement of the system. It works very efficiently. Even we tried it during an online TC meeting, technical committee meeting, simultaneously what was discussed at that time, we submitted question to our system, and the results, for example, we are asking a definition. Okay, we are writing a standard text, and the result that we received from AI system, was consensusly accepted by all members. So it's very encouraging to use in the future. So inshallah, we will continue to refining our AI models and gathering more data to improve our system. This is a beginning, as I told you. We believe that in standardization, metrology, accreditation, or for certification body for the development of standards, we will have the many potentials that we can integrate AI in our systems, and we will go on embeddings. Inshallah, it will enable us to upload documents, conversations, and asking information about it. And this was the end of my presentation. Thank you for your kind attention. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting us again. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for very good news from CIMIC in terms of developing AI for the use of standardization. I would like to add more story about our country and CIMIC. We have been working with CIMIC for 7 years now. And I came across that over the past 5 years, the development of a system of CIMIC seem to be in terms of very, very good effort in terms of creating harmonization of standard. Even though there will be a lot of difficulties, but under the leadership of Ihsan Ovud, and of course the Kaki is one of the main expert on this particular thing. I'm sure in the near future we can have a sort of open AI for member of CIMIC, and of course, as observers, we also can get free service from open AI. Congratulations for this movement. Now we come to the next speakers on this session. He's coming from Bosnia, one of the country in European countries, but Bosnia is also the observer of CIMIC, and we work together for so many years. Dr. Damit Ali Hosek is the director of Islamic community in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Agency for Halal Quality Certification. He's going to present to you all a very interesting topic, reliability of rapid tests for the detection of specific haram ingredients in products. Of course, Dr. Damit is very, keen on this area because he has been working and developing his idea into doctoral thesis, which is very important. So may I invite Dr. Damit to present your idea and view on this particular topic, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Pakorn. And I use this opportunity to thanks for invitation. It is my first time to visit Thailand and to congratulate the organizer for this very good organizing event. As you can see, my next presentation is reliability of rapid tests for detection of specific haram ingredients in products. So this is all content of this presentation. We will have an small introduction about problem description and significance of research. Of course, we have a theoretical part, mostly because of model of methods for analysis and about validation. Experimental part, research objectives, methods, procedures, results, and conclusions, of course, on the end. So the development and the application of rapids and fast methods are becoming imperative in present, because everything is fast, production is fast, technology is on the developing, so we need rapid methods to detect some ingredients. Especially because of ingredients in food that consumers don't want to consume. For example, alcohol, just GMO, or any other type of meat that are not halal and not suitable for Muslim consumers, not suitable for kosher, or even not suitable for example, for vegetarians, etc. And of course, we need some methods, especially rapid methods, for detection allergens in potentially harmful ingredients to the health. For example, gluten, lactose, antibiotic residue, pesticides, and other harmful ingredients. But it's for the lack of these methods are that they are not standardized, and they are not accepted by officially inspection and other officially parts. So the next part of this presentation is validation of analysis of food quality and origin. As we know, the food can originate from living beings, especially from plants, animals, and microorganisms. So when we're discussing to the origin of food, it's most commonly that referred to in terms to plant origin and animal origin. In addition to essential constituents, food may contain undesirable contaminants and other components such as different type of meats, alcohol, especially ethanol, of course, and GMO and other. We need methods, any methods, rapid or classical methods. We need because of to protect the product from possible fraud by manufacturers, to protect consumers from potential fraud in the market, any type, the need to detect other undesirable ingredients in food, and for the detection of mycotoxin, allergens, GMO, and other residue harmful for human beings. When we talk about validation and rapid any type of methods, we are considering next parameter. These parameters are shown in the table are parameters for qualitative analysis, not for quantitative, but for qualitative analysis. Similar R is for quantitative analysis. And we use on this research, for this purpose of this research, we just research sensitive and sensitivity and specificity, and false positive and false negative rates for this. And later on we will see the results about that. So as we can calculate this sensitivity and specificity through this formula, if we have true positive and true false negative, if we have for specificity is false negative and false positive, we can calculate it through this formula. Even like before, we can have false positive, false negative, and as well we can have sensitivity and specificity. Okay. Experimental part and methodology, what we done, research we provide in NTNU in Trondheim University and in Laboratory of Food Faculty for Technology in Tuzla University in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Main objectives is to conduct validation of rapid methods tests, analysis of food quality and origin, and determine and reliability of rapid ILF or immunochromatographic lateral flow test for pork meat, for genetically modified corn and soy, and for enzymatic test method for detection of alcohol ethanol. Yes, we use three of this method, as I mentioned: pork meat, ILF test for detection of pork meat, ILF test for detection of soy and corn, and the enzymatic test, semi-quantitative enzymatic test for detection of alcohol. So we used these materials shown in table. Actually, it's minced meat, type of meat, pork, beef, and chicken meat, and we use some end products, finished products like sausages and salami. For GMO, we used soybean genetically modified, and we used organic soybean, not genetically modified soybean, and we used some of end products for corn detection, genetically modified corn detection. And for alcohol, we used ethanol 96% to dissolve and to prepare some samples. And of course, we use some non-alcoholic and alcoholic beers to try to make analysis for them. And there was 3 products of kefir as a milk dairy products. So yeah, that's some of the products, a picture of some of the products we used for research. And we prepared samples from, for example, for pork meat, we prepared for 0% pork meat inside to 100% of pork meat in products and in samples. And for GM, we prepared products from 0.1, actually from 0 with the non-GMO, and to 100% GMO. And for the alcohol, we prepared products for 0 to 10% of alcohol in samples. This is procedure, just analysis procedure for using ILF in monochromatography lateral flow test. So preparation of product preparation to the end. The last picture is testing, and we just dip or immerse the tester in the sample, and after 5 minutes we will have result of this test. So this is procedure for validation procedure. When we provide test with rapid test and get result from rapid test, then after that we, on same samples, we provide for pork meat, we provide procedure of ELISA method. So this is the procedure of ELISA method. It takes 5 or 6 hours to provide the analysis for that products we tested. But for rapid test, we take only it takes only 5 minutes. For GMO procedure, to evaluate on actually to validate our rapid test for GMO testing, we use the PCR method, and this is a procedure for PCR method. Of course, it's extraction and purification of DNA samples, quantification of DNA, amplification, and after that it's reading results from PCR for electrophoresis, etc. So as we can see, this is a table with results of our research. As you can see, it is compare result of ILF test, rapid test, and the ELISA method. So we can see that we provide 10 to 5 to 10 number of analyses, and all of them with different percent pork meat inside. So as we can see that all result we get from ILF test, we confirm that result with ELISA. Even they are negative on pork meat or positive on pork meat, we have same result with ELISA. Actually, only with column number 0.1, it is limit of detection of test immunochromatography lateral flow test. That's the limit of detection. So sometimes it's show positive results, sometimes it's negative results. So you never know. Maybe yeah, you can see it here. Where is that? Yeah, here. You don't see the second line, so that show the positive result on this test. This first line is control line, and the second line is test line. If there is second line, means that product sample or product contain pork meat in this tested sample. So these are just different type. Oh, you can see here. It's best see. You can see here, 10% of pork meat. So we see here control line. So we see here test line. So this means all of them are positive or negative here on this, and all of them are suitable. So this is the outline, actually, result of ELISA method. So we can see here with eye, we can see in these wells there is samples. So if samples are colored, there is some color, green or light green, means that sample, that product that contains some percent of pork meat. Depends if percent is higher, then color is darker, etc. So even we can calculate with absorbance when we read it from microplate reader, and we will have results from that microplate reader, and we can calculate this cutoff value after every absorbance higher than this cutoff, this number, it means that product is or sample is positive. So this is result of ILF test for GM soy and corn. Didn't translate it on both on English, right? But yes, this is for GM soy and the corn. And you see here, same as before, you see here the number of analyses, result. But here we can see with PCR, we detect that the product contained 0.1 GM soy. The ILF test can't detect this percent of GM soy inside this of sample. So only the limit of detection is 1%. So higher than 1%, content than 1%, if there is GM soy, it can be positive. So PCR, we know as that PCR is a very sensitive method for detection any type of. So even for corn, this ILF test can detect even if corn or product contain GM, genetically modified organism in product, it can detect as a genetically modified organism. These are pictures for corn products, and these are pictures for soy samples we prepared with GMO and non-GMO soy. So these are the products from PCR, actually from electrophoresis, yes, and these are the primers we used for this analysis. And here is the GMO corn, and we can see these products means that this sample is positive. Next sample is negative, and etc. So you can see here we have positive and we have negative samples. Same result as a PCR. And here we have same result as a ILF test for this how can I say it? These products and these primers used to detect is this sample soy as a plant, not is it genetically modified or not, just to detect is it soy or is it other type of plant. So this is the actually, yes, this is the result of enzymatic test for alcohol detection. So we have samples, as I mentioned before, samples with 0.02% of alcohol. When I said alcohol, I mean ethanol, and the other products we already used. Some of them, you can see it, we don't have any, in non-alcoholic beer, we didn't detect alcohol, means that this product do not contain alcohol in this because this is the limit of detection. If there is alcohol in less than 0.02, then it can be detected. If cannot be detected by this test. So for this method, we didn't provide validation as a for GMO and for pork meat. This is just prepared samples, and we know the sample contain alcohol, so we will try, can this test, can it detect it or cannot detect it, this type of products. So if product contain alcohol, that means the pillow or the sample, it will be here on the top. It will be change color. Color can be dark green or can be light green. Depends on alcohol. What is the quantity of alcohol is present in this. If color is yellow or if it not change the color, means that sample is negative on this. For example, was I think distilled water or water here, and the other samples are contain alcohol, some percent of alcohol like is shown here on these pictures. So through the analysis and calculation, we can say that false positive rate for pork, we go talking about ILF for pork, false positive rate is 0%, so it was, and for false negative rate is 3.4%. So considering that we were no false positive result, and there was only 3 false negative, it means that sensitivity and specificity are 96% and 100% as a specificity. So we can use this test for detection of alcohol and not alcohol for pork meat, and of course we can use this test for GMO to detect GMO inside of products, but only if limit detection is 1%. So if contain more than 1%, we can use it for detection. And of course, for alcohol, we get false positive and false negative rate as 0. So we can say that it's a very specific and very sensitive this method for detection of alcohol. Even just one thing during our research, when I put this tester in alcohol and put it as on the white paper, and take another one sample and put in water to see negative result, and put one to each other, and after 5 minutes when I read results, the sample with water was green, and I said, what is so false negative result? But is this type of tester is very sensitive. Even it's sensitive on evaporation, how can I say it? It's very sensitive. It contain, if on the air there is alcohol in air, that it can detect that is alcohol inside the product. I think, yes. Thank you for your attention. That's all from me.
Thank you very much indeed for Dr. Damit for your interesting presentation. We will still have around 5 minutes. So if you have 1 or 2 questions, yes. Can share my microphone.
This ILF could detect any tissue of the meat tissue or something like that, because you say that the pork meat. So if you have the small amount, something like a tissue or like lard and all that, could we detect it using this ILF? Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. It can detect only pork meat, for example, in products. Even the products are already treated by temperature, for example, temperature with 80 degrees and etc. It can be detect that type of meat, sausages, salami, etc. And it needs only small amount of any type of tissue, but only not any type of tissue, any type of tissue, but only for pork origin, because it's antigen and antibody type of detection. If there is antibody in the product, so it can be detected, because the tester is designed to detect only pork meat, pork origin.
Change to something like the form. Change the form of the.
Even if they change the form, it can be detected.
Can be detected.
Yes. The gelatino, for example. For gelatin, collagen, etc.,
No.
can be detected. But in products as a salami, as a ham, as a
Only the pork
sausages,
meat.
it can be detected.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sulida, for your question. For last question, please. If nobody asks our speakers, that means all of the three speakers present very, very important results from hard work of them. So to end this session, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude and thanks to the three speakers coming from different countries, but the main concern is the same. That is how to create the new method, the new idea, new technology in order to make sure that we have the wholesomeness of halal. Thank you very much indeed for all contribution.
So again, thank you very much to all of our speaker and the moderator for this session. On this occasion, may I now have the honor to invite Mr. Tasak Sutishat, Advisor for the Business Incubation of the Halal Science Center, Chulalongkorn University, to present some tokens of appreciation to our speaker and moderator, please. First of all, may I have the honor to invite our first speaker, Miss Elvina Augustine from the Assessment and Research Institute Halal Tayyiban of Muhammadiyah from Indonesia. And next, may I have the honor to invite Mr. Kashi Kagandaran from the Standard and Metrology Institute for Islamic Country, OSMIC. And the last one, may I have the honor to invite Dr. Damir Ali Hodes from the Agency of the Halal Quality Certification of Bosnia. Also, may I have the honor to invite Associate Professor Dr. Pakorn Priyakon, our honorable moderator for this session. May I invite all the speakers and the moderator for the third session to take a group photo together. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have a big round of applause again for the third session of today's event. So thank you very much again. So, distinguished speaker and audience, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the last session of today's conference, which is the session under the topic of innovation in food and ingredients, from nature bounty to advanced solution. And today we have the honor from Dr. Simap Galwan from the Institute of Nutrition, Food Chemistry Unit, Mahidol University of Thailand, to be the moderator of this session. Allow me to give you a brief information about Dr. Simap. She's now currently a lecturer at the Institute of Nutrition, Mahidol University, Thailand. She also holds her doctoral degree in biochemistry, molecular biology from Chulalongkorn University, Bangkok. Her area of expertise are biochemistry, molecular biology, fundamental of biotechnology, enzyme technology, and including microbial biotechnology. So without further ado, may I have the honor to invite Dr. Simap Ganva on the stage. The floor is yours, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum and swadika. So, I'm Dr. Simap Kaval, and thank you very much to the organizers of the conference for extending the kind invitation to me to participate in the conference as a moderator. And I believe that this is the time of the day that most of you feeling so maybe lethargic, and all of you have been up since very early morning, and right now maybe just stay a little bit longer with us because this is the last session and last round of presentation. And I'm so glad to make this announcement to you that the next three presenters, they have different topics to discuss today relevant to the halal industry and halal products and how the science can contribute to that. So please stay put a little longer with us, and we have three very good speakers onward that will contribute their research findings and their opinions and discussion regarding the innovations in food and ingredients from nature's bounty to advanced solutions. So without further delay, I would like to announce and extend my invitation to the first speaker. She is Professor Dr. Nazima Hamid from Department of Food Science and Microbiology, Auckland University of Technology, New Zealand. I would like to introduce a bit about her. Dr. Nazima is a wonderful cadre of female scientists in the field of food science and microbiology who have accomplished career of nearly 30 years, demonstrating academic and administrative leadership in food science. She had a significant track record in leading research projects, as well as fostering and inspiring research students to publish in very high quality and impactful journals. She had established strategic collaborative research with food industry research institutes and tertiary institutions, both at national and international level. And she had over than 200 publications with numerous contributions in literature as book chapters and other journal articles and reports. She's also the fellow of New Zealand Institute of Food Science and Technology, as well as the professional member of the Institute of Food Technology. And today she will be sharing her work about the unlocking the hidden potential of food byproducts that are most relevant to the conversion of the food waste into sustainable, functional food ingredients. That is quite interesting to listen to her today, what she is going to discuss with us. So without further delay, please welcome Dr. Nazima. The floor is yours. And I would like to announce that we have 15 minutes for each speaker in this round.
So we'll go to the next one. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nazima, and I'm from the Auckland University of Technology. It is the youngest university in New Zealand, so about maybe 15 years. And this is my research group. And you can see we have someone from the Halal Science Center here, Marisa. She spent 11 months with us, so I was very, very happy. Alhamdulillah, we have a student from here. I was very, very happy. And this is actually the day she was about to leave. So this is the function that we had to celebrate her time with us. So I'm going to talk about unlocking the hidden potential of food byproducts. And this is because there's a lot of problems with sustainability, and green is the way to go. So I'm just going to show you this slide. It's just showing you how big the scale is in terms of global food waste. And you can see here China contributes to a lot of waste in this graph that you have here, followed by India, and you can see Australia right at the down there. And where are you getting this food waste? Generally, it's your household waste, yeah? So you can see out of the 931 million tons, the household waste accounts for 569 million tons, followed by food service. So you get your restaurants and, of course, your retail sector as well. How about New Zealanders? So what is the top 10 foods that New Zealanders throw away? They throw a lot of bread away because, yeah, your bread will get moldy when it's sitting on the shelf. Then there's leftovers, potatoes, apples, chicken, bananas, yeah, banana peel. I see some people here are already using banana peels, byproducts in some of the formulations. I think that's great. Lettuce, oranges, pumpkins, so even citrus fruits. A lot of pectin can be obtained from the citrus peel. So we can actually use these things that we throw away and make it into something more valuable. All right. So everything is bioeconomy now. So the circular bioeconomy is playing a big role, and it encompasses the production of renewable biological sources. All right, so you can have a variety of products that you can produce for biohealth, bioenergy, agribio, and even bioindustrial. And I can see a lot of the products that you have showcased. It's very related to biohealth. So why is it important? Okay, the valorization of refuse that would actually otherwise end up in your landfill sites. A lot of the industries in New Zealand pay a lot of money to dispose of this waste. You know, you can't just go and dig a ground and put your waste in there. So a lot of nations are now promoting bioeconomy as a sustainable development strategy. And this aligns with the United Nations goal of green sustainable development. This is beautiful New Zealand. I've been in New Zealand for 17 years now. I just don't get tired with the sceneries we have there. We have abundance of land, water, and strong primary industries. And you know, we have more sheep than people in New Zealand. Yeah? So we are, again, not heavily reliant on fossil fuels. So 95% of the New Zealand energy comes from renewable sources. So we're quite environmentally conscious. So there are favorable conditions for us to transition to a plant-based economy. I'm going to talk about avocado. And I know that in Thailand, you have avocados here too. And I look forward to trying them, but I guess they're not in season. But we have a lot of avocados there. And what do we do with it? Most of the time, we use it for oil production. and we use it for oil, for culinary uses. And what happens? We get the waste byproduct. Whenever we throw this waste, it is of a concern to industries. They have to pay to get rid of the seeds, the peels, the wastewater. You can't just, get the wastewater and put it on, into the drains. It's not just good. So we looked at the possibility of valorizing the waste. Yeah, so this is a project converting industrial avocado waste into valuable functional ingredients, and this was carried out by our PhD student, Rahul Permal, with his co-supervisor, Rothman Kam, me, Brent, and Joe. And where did we get this waste? We got this waste from the avocado oil company. So basically, we are getting all our ingredients for free. And they would even post it to us for free. Okay. And we actually obtained funding for this project under Callahan. So I'm just going to talk about the cold-pressed avocado oil, CPAO. Originally, in the 1940s, avocado oil was only extracted for cosmetic purposes. But now, we've seen an increase in its use in culinary. And that started in New Zealand in the 1990s. And that's what started the mechanical extraction via cold pressing at less than 50 degrees Celsius to retain the color and the bioactive components of the oil. So first of all, we went to the factory and we got the student to measure how much of byproducts were being produced. So we have the pomace, and then we have the seeds, the skin, the wastewater. So this was all published. And you can see we get a lot from skin and seeds. Then we have the pomace next. The pomace, generally, you don't have much oil, okay? You've extracted most of the oil, so it's mainly just dietary fiber. And then there's wastewater and residual water. If you look there, the biggest source of waste there is wastewater, and that's one of the projects that we worked on. So the research aims were to convert the byproducts of cold-pressed avocado oil into higher value products and reduce the amount of organic waste that goes into your landfill. Makes sense? So let's look at the pomace. It's low in lipids, digestible, quite high in digestible carbohydrates. We use it as an animal feed. The skin, okay? The skin is really good. Again, a high level of non-digestible carbohydrates, mainly cellulose and hemicellulose. I've got a PhD student now looking at extracting the bioactive components of the skin, okay, and encapsulating it to make a functional food ingredient. But there's also the possibility of using the skin for biodegradable packaging. So basically, how do you make a biodegradable plastic? You'll mix cellulose with zinc chloride solution, okay, and add 0.5% glycerol. And that's what you get, the one that's white there, made with crystalline cellulose. And we've actually tried using the skin to make this plastic, but instead of using cellulose, you can see that we've used dried avocado skin. So there's some potential there. The wastewater. So there's a lot of wastewater generated. And so what do you do with the wastewater? It's the largest byproduct in terms of volume. And so there's a big problem in terms of disposal issues. And that's because it has high lipid content, roughly 6% there. And it's not suitable as a fertilizer. What do? We spray dried it and turned it into a powder. And you can see that you can see there's an increase in the antioxidant activity. So there are a lot of good bioactive compounds in there that you can valorize. We've also looked at the vitamin E comparison, and you can see with the different byproducts, wastewater actually, the wastewater powder actually had between 200 to 300 milligram per kilogram of vitamin E. And in your flesh, you're only getting what, about 20 milligrams, and in the oil, only between 70 to 190. So this is good, yeah? This powder that we produced, spray-dried powder, was really good. And this is what we do. We have a slurry, and we add some cell wall carrier materials. It's mainly maltodextrin, and that's the spray dryer. And that's the powder that we get. Yeah, so we know it's got good antioxidant activity. We know it's a good source of vitamin E. So what do? We try incorporating it into a meat product. And we use sausages. It's quite interesting when you compare the avocado wastewater, which is AWW, and you compare it to the chemical preservatives like BHT and BHA. Okay, those two chemical additives are in fact carcinogenic, yeah, if added at high amounts. And we looked at the avocado wastewater powder, and it was working really well, because you can see the T-bars results, which is a measure of rancidity, is not significantly different to the chemical preservatives there. The seed is my favorite. We've actually had a couple of students from France and UK, and they've been working on getting an extruded product. So we've managed to produce an extruded product using avocado seed, because you see, we've got quite a lot of available carbohydrates there. And this can, we have the possibility of making a gluten-free snack product, which is again healthier because the seed has also got a lot of bioactive components in there. So we've got some extruded snack, and we've just done some sensory testing, and it looked like most people actually like the snack that contain up to 40% of the avocado seed powder. So that's good news. Yeah, you get ingredient, you pay nothing for it, and you can sell a healthy product. We had problems with bitterness and brittleness, but that was overcome by the addition of brown rice as well. So we managed to improve the formulation. But again, this extruded snack is high in antioxidants. That's good. We've made sure there are no toxic compounds, so we've checked for amygdalin and persin to make sure that the products are safe to eat. All right, so the next one is looking at fermented seed as functional ingredients. This is carried out by my PhD student, Jimmy. His Chinese name is Jiu Zhao. And we looked at the fact of fermenting the seeds. And it was really exciting when we found that, oh, you get even more bioactive compounds with fermentation. So we use Lactobacillus plantarum, and this actually increased the total polyphenolic content and antioxidant activities compared to kefir and naturally fermented samples. We also looked at the anti-cancer activity, and this seed powder was very good in terms of inhibition of breast cancer cells as well as liver cancer cells. And we found the optimum conditions for antioxidant activity and anti-cancer activities by roasting. It's an amazing thing, and so we recently published this, and we've looked at the different metabolites. We are carrying out some proteomics analysis. We are hoping to get bioactive peptides as well. And what next? This is the last one. And we are looking at apricot kernels now. And that's also very exciting. And did you know that an apricot kernel contains up to 23% protein? Yeah, so it's a very good source of protein there. And so we again subjected that to fermentation, and we are looking at the bioactive peptides in there. Conclusion. All right, so we know that food waste is a significant challenge that contributes to environmental pollution and economic losses. And so why not convert this food waste into valuable bioactive compounds, biofuels, and you know, add it in your food, add it in your cosmetics. It's really a valuable resource. It's not something that you just can, I mean, this is what people do, throw it away. But you know now, a lot of people are in this area, and there's a lot of interest in the conversion and valorization of these valuable byproducts into something that is healthy, okay? Because that's what people are so interested in now. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nazima, and it was really interesting to listen to her outcomes of the research work. You know that climate change it is said that it is for real and it is affecting globally. That is mostly coming with the reason of the waste of any kind coming from the anthropogenic activity, and human beings are sadly the main contributor to that. And such kind of the research concerning the green chemistry, or also connected with the halal and alternative, more better choices in terms of the halal food available. This kind of research is really needed, and we are more optimistic and would be more glad to see more outcomes of her research in near future. So I would like to invite and make an announcement about our next speaker without taking much of your time. Our next speaker is Professor Dr. Muhammad Umair Arshid. Professor Umair Arshid is a professor and chairperson of Department of Food Science at Government College University, Faisalabad, Pakistan. And his specialty is mostly concerning the regulations of related to health counts and food labeling, as well as food intake, appetite, and glycemic responses of foods, with special focus on dairy product and components. He also is focusing on the food fortification strategies and related consultancy at national and international level. So today he has joined us to speak in the topic of the role of the different form of dairy products, in fact, on short-term food intake, satiety, and postprandial glycemia in young, healthy adults. So another different topic of our today's session. Please give a big round of applause for Dr. Arshid.
Thank you so much.
Start now.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri, yassir li amri, yaqdatam min lisani, yafqahu qawli. First of all, let me praise the previous presenter, Dr. Nazima. That is the topic which is close to my heart and everyone's heart, because we are running towards a really circular economy when we talk about the businesses. I'm Dr. Arshid. I'm working as a professor of food science and heading the food science department in Government College University, Faisalabad, as well as I'm basically a linkages kind of guy. I'm working as a director industrial linkages in my university. So all the food industry in Pakistan, we are dealing with from the standards, from production, from the waste to the value kind of concepts. Particularly, I'm presenting this today's presentation that is related more to the nutrition side instead of the technological side. So in this, basically, this is also one of my expertise area that we are working on the exposure of different food and food ingredients for the regulation of different metabolic disorders in human as well as in animal studies. This particular study was basically based on the dairy. We have done a couple of other works on the dairy components, but when we talk about the appetite and the regulation of the glycemia through hormones, then comes different food technology perspectives as well. So we were ambitious to look into the different forms of the dairy products that are in the market and how they are affecting physiologically to control and regulate the metabolic responses in the human subjects. So okay, so the obesity and type 2 diabetes unfortunately increasing at alarming rate throughout the globe, and particularly in the countries like Pakistan. We are getting on the upper side of malnutrition, that we are getting more heavyweight and obese people instead of the lower side of malnutrition. These metabolic morbidities could be controlled and through the regulation of body weight, and obviously then here comes the diet and the different other factors that can control the appetite and glucose in the body. And dairy consumption is particularly related. In the previous studies, we have seen that the consumption of milk and milk products are very much related, although on the basis of the protein mainly, which is contributory, the whey protein especially, which are contributory towards the improvement in the satiety and the glycemic responses. And yes, regular consumption of dairy is already shown that it is associated with the low incidence of these morbidities, and then it is maybe due to the increased satiety responses with the more fullness and reduced appetite, and then decreased postprandial glycemia in different subjects. So that is this circle. Okay. Okay, so although we, as I mentioned, that we have already different studies related to the impact of dairy products on the glycemic regulation, but the consistency and the magnitude effects observed have varied substantially among different studies presented by different researchers. One factor could be that structural differences between the different dairy products results in behaving differently, and that depends again on the food matrix, what kind of matrix and how the absorption of these bioactive components are there in the gut. And then no comparative studies have yet been at that time was done in the human subjects for different dairy products in this particular action. Moreover, the studies are lacking on the comparison of release of bioactive components when it comes with the full fat or fat-free or partially defatted dairy products. So that's why we have emphasized in this study that the semi-solid and solid forms of dairy products, which are obviously the cheese and the yogurt, set yogurt, and are more efficacious in case of lowering the appetite as well as the glycemia in the young healthy adults. And secondly, we also emphasize that the full fat milk that can lower the short-term food intake, satiety, and postprandial glycemia more than fat-free milk. Okay, so the objectives of the studies obviously were number one, to evaluate the effect of the farm of dairy product as well as the fat content on the blood glucose, appetite, and we were using the pizza as a for the ad lib intake, and then going to analyze different kind of parameters physiological afterwards. Secondary, as this search was in collaboration with the University of Toronto as well, so we were also very much interested to follow the Health Canada's guidelines, that how they are, the guideline particularly related to the postprandial glycemia and satiety, and how that could be to file in the future as a health claim. This was my study plan. In this, we used the randomized controlled unblinded trial, and 5 study sessions were conducted. 1 week washout period was given. Like this was within subject randomized trial in which each subject had the same treatment, and about in this study, particular study, we have subsets of 12 subjects, and which are between 20 to 30 years, and both male and female were recruited for this purpose, and they were healthy, non-diabetic, and the treatments were the water, there was a control, then skim milk was the fat-free milk we used from the Nielsen company that was provided by Canada, and then the milk for 3.25% and the Greek yogurt from Danone company, and the cheddar cheese we used from Armstrong. So these are different treatments we used in this study. This is the treatments when we compared their composition. So you can see that it's almost at par with each other, except there's some of the differences between the protein content in case of yogurt are higher as compared to all other treatments. But overall, the caloric point of view, we'll see 260, 240, and how except the milk has, the full fat milk has higher calories. This was the study design. In this, the subjects were coming with fasting of 12 hours fasting, then 12 hours night fasting, and then they come in the morning. At 0 time, we take the blood glucose as well as insulin samples, and then they were given that each of the treatment at every session, and then after 15 minutes, 30, 45, and so on, they were given the blood samples were taken for both insulin, glucose, and the I'm not going to present the other physiological hormones, but physiological hormones as well. Insulin and the hormones on the 30 minutes interval, and the glucose on each 15 minutes interval. And then as well, the visual analog scales were used for subjective appetite ratings at each 15 minutes. And after 2 hours, when the blood glucose peak comes down, then they were given the ad lib pizza intake. And then afterwards, 30 minutes, we had a final post meal reading for as a post set. Yeah, this is the study protocol and the results. We have seen that the pre-meal time, that is 0 to 120 minutes, the blood glucose that is area under curve from baseline that was used as a indicator in this particular chart, was lower after cheese and water compared with all other treatments for the glucose. And you can see that pre-meal, post-meal, and if you can see the cumulative, you can see the significant difference between the yogurt and full fat milk and skim milk compared to the cheese. Cheese also resulted in lowering the post-treatment blood glucose incremental area under the curve. And when we talk about the incremental area under the curve, then that actually gives the actual picture of 120 minutes to us. So again, we can see that 61% reduction in the incremental area under the curve from the control. So blood glucose level, when we see this linear graph, we can see that again the glucose level was lowest after cheese at 30 minutes, which is the peak time after the normally after the taking any sugary food or glucose, and in case of but it comes down and it was non-significant till it reaches the 120 minutes time, and after the post meal time again we can observe that there was no difference between the milk and skim milk, but the cheese is again showing the better results there. For the subjective appetite, the results were kind of different, and we've seen the Greek yogurt and cheese both were lower after the liquid compared to the liquid dairy products, both of the skim and the full fat milk. And we can see the cumulative values here that you can clearly see the cheese is reducing as well as the Greek yogurt, particularly the Greek yogurt. And similarly, this is average appetite one-way ANOVA graph, and we can see that on 30 minutes peak time, again we can see the Greek yogurt is performing much better as compared to other treatments. When we talk about the ad libitum food intake at 120 minutes, we have seen the caloric intake and calories was lower than the control from after semi-solid, and both cheese and Greek yogurt have lowered the overall caloric intake at the ad libitum time. And this is a caloric compensation when you talk about, then Greek yogurt again have shown as compared to other full fat milk. So these both have the difference, but it's not different from the cheese. Okay, so overall summary was for this study that cheese suppressed the pre-meal blood glucose level more than the liquid and semi-solid dairy products. And cheese also reduced the blood glucose incremental area under the curve by 61% more than the full fat milk when we compare it. And this is very important parameter to claim in any kind of jurisdiction, either we talk about EFSA or Health Canada or whatever. So Greek yogurt and cheese suppress the pre-meal appetite. Both of them are the semi-solid and solid foods, more than the liquid dairy products. So both cheese and Greek yogurt reduced caloric intake at the meal more than the liquid dairy products. So my conclusion is again related to my hypothesis that semi-solid and solid dairy products as well as the high-fat dairy products have more effect on regulation of short-term appetite and food intake and glycemia when we talk about the healthy adults. And I did not show the results of physiological hormones, but we have seen that the GLP-1 as well as the GLP-1 was particularly very important when we talk about the biopeptides release from the cheese as compared to the other liquid dairy products. So it was higher, I have not shown in here, but GLP-1 was higher post-treatment intake in case of cheese as compared to other products. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Omer Arshid, for your interesting presentation and just finishing in time very quickly, right? So it was interesting to look at his research findings regarding the intake of the dairy-based products. Though there is more to discuss, but owing to time limitation, we have to move to our next speaker of our last session, and the last speaker for today's conference day. She is Professor Dr. Sureni Binti Abdulaziz, Professor at Faculty of Biotechnology and Biomolecular Sciences, University Putra, Malaysia. Her research specialty is concerning the biochemical engineering, specializing in enzyme technology and industrial biotechnology. And today she will be discussing with us about her research outcome relevant to the topic of the bromelain enzyme from pineapple leaves that could be potential source of halal ingredients for therapeutic usage. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Sureni. You can start your presentation.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for your introduction. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon. Last session and last speaker. Please bear with me. So I'm Sureni Abdulaziz from University Putra, Malaysia. Today I will bring your attention to this is actually the abundant enzyme. You can see a lot of pineapple all over the world, but for us, we didn't use the pineapple. We are using the waste. Like Prof. Nazima, we utilize the waste. So in our group, we did a lot of waste utilizations for value-added products. But today's presentation, I will talk more about the bromelain enzyme. And this bromelain enzyme, we got it from pineapple leaves, and it's a source of halal ingredient for therapeutic usage. So this is my reference. You can just search the Scopus. My name is Sureni Abdulaziz. You can find a lot of our publication and my book. So the talk outline today, I give you a little bit of introduction and what is halal criteria ingredients for Malaysia, and agro waste or pineapple waste abundance in Malaysia and all over the world. And our approach is on the biorefinery. We are working on the biorefinery approach for circular bioeconomy, and today I will talk about the pineapple biorefinery. And next is our product, pure bromelain from pineapple plant. This is not stem, sorry, it's leaves. We have utilized all type of waste, and this time I will talk about the leaf. And we utilize the pure bromelain from pineapple leaf for antioxidants and anti-inflammatory. And end of the with conclusion, acknowledgement, and some advertisement of our book that have been published. So halal means that the food is clean and does not contain any harmful or forbidden ingredients such as pork, alcohol, and blood. I think everybody is aware of this. So according to Islamic rites, halal food must be prepared in a clean environment. and animals must be slaughtered humanly. But in my case, in our case, we are not using animal, we are using plant. And halal refers to what is permissible and lawful in traditional Islamic way, and to this extent to food and ingredient as well. So the ingredient is very important in order for us to derive any type of foods. And halal ingredients are those that adhere to Islamic dietary laws, and their use is allowed according to Islamic principles. So this is just a revision. I think everybody aware on that. And to sure the halal ingredients, it should meet the criteria. First, the source. The source is very important. The source must be from halal. For example, meat must come from the animal that was slaughtered according to Islamic guidance. The processing is very important. So in this case, the manufacturing processing is the most part that didn't include any contamination with halal or forbidden substances. And certification. So for Malaysia, we have certification for halal ingredient, and the certification have to ensure that the products and its ingredients comply with halal standard. And I just browsed through on the halal certification procedure in Malaysia, and we are working with bromelain as the ingredients. So our bromelain falls into the pharmaceutical product scheme criteria. So in order for us to proceed with the halal certification, we should register the bromelain under the Drug Control Authority, and the pharmaceutical product that eligible for halal certification will fall under the following categories. First, it's not supposed to be the scheduled poison products, the scheduled poison products over the counter, and the health supplement products and natural products. So our targets for bromelain from pineapple leaves is to go for the health supplement products or natural products. So this is the halal certification that we in the process of getting it from Malaysia halal standard. And next, sorry, this is in Malay. This is the flow, how we can get the halal certification from Malaysia. So actually it's a long flow, but if your product really fulfill the criteria, it takes only maximum up to 3 months. And why we go for agro-waste? Same as what Prof. Nazima said, the agro-waste is very, very abundant. And even in Malaysia, agricultural waste, if you have a look at the picture here, are abundant and diverse byproducts generated from various agricultural activities. And these residues are often considered waste, but they can be valuable resource for sustainable biorefineries and other applications. And this abundance of agro-waste, if you have a look here, you can get it either from the forestry residue, you can get it from the crop residue, from the manure, from the sugarcane bagasse, oilseed, fruits, and straw and husk. A lot of forest residue, agriculture residue can be used. For Malaysia, we have the National Biomass Strategy 2020, where we utilize all the waste to produce the product and to make it zero waste products. And what are the value product that you can target for the agro waste? In this case, it's a plant-derived waste. So you can go to the biochemicals, you can get proteins, pectin, you can go to biofuels, biomaterials, power and heat. So all of this type of product, we already established in our laboratory and in our research group. And what our target is, we want to go for the sustainable biorefinery. So from the waste, we're going to utilize it through biorefinery approach and through biotechnology to sustain through the circular bioeconomy and sustainable development. So they have the process inside here that is very, very important in order for us to achieve. And in this case, sustainable biorefinery have a critical role to play in our common future. So the need to provide more goods using renewable resources, combined with advances in science and technology, So in our work, we are biotechnology. I'm from the Department of Biotechnology. We combine bio and technology together to have a biorefinery system developments. And usually, when you go to the biorefinery, you can target up to zero waste. And sustainable biorefineries offer a holistic and eco-friendly approach to resource utilization. So, agro-waste as a resource in this case, and providing a pathway towards a more sustainable and resilient future. Okay, this is the summary, what you can obtain, what you can get from the sustainable biorefinery that we already done in our works. So you can reduce the greenhouse gas emission. Sorry. You can get the renewable feedstock. This is the main target for my talk today. Bioeconomy development, energy efficiency, waste utilization, and at the same time, the waste utilization, if you do it in the village for the farmers, you can create a job for them. Let me proceed with the talks. Okay, I will talk about the pineapple and its waste utilization. This is our book published last year, 2020. So we talk about the usage of pineapple, starting from what you can get until the products. So this is the book was published under our university press, UPM Press. So I'm one of the co-editor, one of the chief editor, 2 from Malaysia and 1 from Thailand, Dr. Suchada from Chulalongkorn University. And this is what I informed just now. We are working on pineapple biorefinery, zero waste. So what we have here, from the pineapple plantation, the fruits, we didn't use the fruits. We sell the fruits, but the peels we use, the leaves and the pineapple plant stem. This is the stem for the tree that we use. And it's cover almost 50% of the total pineapple plant. And what we did, first we go for the extraction. We extract the bromelain from leaves and from the stem, and we extract the essential oil. So the remaining after the extraction, we go for the production of ruminant feed. So we already use some. But the remaining from the pineapple plant stem, we produce L-lysine or L-methionine. This is amino acid that you can use to enhance the ruminant feed. And at the same time, the pineapple plant stem, actually it have more than 70% starch, soluble starch. So this soluble starch you can use as a precursor for production of caramel. And rather than using soya sauce from soya bean, you can produce soya sauce from caramel of the pineapple plant stem starch. And it is our other project is to produce nata di pina from pineapple peels. Besides, everybody very common using nata di coco. Our works, our study, we use nata di pina. And today, I will explain more on the bromelain that we have. And we are aware that bromelain is enzyme derived from pineapples. The commercial enzyme that we have in market were extracted from the pineapple fruits and pineapple plant stem. And it is known for its anti-inflammatory properties, and it contains a mixture of proteolytic enzyme. And it suggests that it may help reduce the inflammation and alleviate symptoms associated with inflammatory condition. So the source of bromelain in pineapple, you can get it from the crown, you can get it from the fruits, and you can get it from the leaves, and also from the stem. The one that I'm talking today is from the leaves. And this is the anti-inflammatory effect of our bromelain that we are studying now, is to reduce swelling, pain relief, improve joint function, and for sinuses relief. So for the time being, we are number 3, to improve the joint function. So we try to produce it in tablet. So you just take a tablet for the knee pain. And this is the other plant that you can produce anti-inflammatory. And it was nothing while some studies support the anti-inflammatory effect of bromelain, but we need more research. So after the usage, after you did the production, you need to do the clinical trial. And for us, we already got the product. We are in the process to do the preclinical trial and to let the company join in our works. As a researcher, we can produce the products, but to pre-commercialize or to commercialize the product, we need a lot of money. So at this time, we need to bring the company to join us to help us in commercialize the product. And this is our product. It's pure bromelain from pineapple leaves. This is the company that work with us. So Allah Putra Biowell Sdn Bhd. So our trademark for our bromelain is Epibrom trademark. And this is a pure bromelain from pineapple leaves. And this is, activity is about 1,000 CDU per gram. And we already have patent our bromelain extraction, okay, in November last year. And I go through very fast about the strategy that we use. We are using a very simple procedure. I think everybody can do it, but the optimization is secret. That is because we have the patent on that. So it's very simple. This is in the lab. Sorry. So you do the extraction process. This is a very simple cold extraction process. Then you could get the crude bromelain extract. This crude bromelain extract actually already used in the restaurant in Malaysia. You can just use to tenderize the meat. And we proceed with the purification strategies to get the purified bromelain, and we are using only 2 methods here. Ammonium sulfate precipitation and dialysis to remove all the salts. And the system that we are using is the ATPS. This is our method that we already patent, the ATPS condition and the spray drying technique. And this is our bromelain activity. If you have a look, the activity increased a lot after we did the partial purification, with the specific activity increased about more than 50%. And with the ATPS method, okay, so you can get the system with the ATPS. So you get 2 phases, and then you get your bromelain there. And the activity increase after you got 55% reducing of salts, and then it increased 34.4% of the increment. And after we got the bromelain, we have problems to make it stable. So what we proceed, we are using spray drying technique and using maltodextrin as a carrier. So we are using the spray drying technique. I think everybody aware of these methods. And this is our product. So with the addition of maltodextrins, so we using spray dryer, we got a bromelain powder. And then this powder, the color is like the pineapple fruits. And the smell is very nice. Actually, I'm thinking to bring it today, but we cannot do it last week because it's a rainy season and our pineapple is not so nice to harvest. And actually, it takes about 2 weeks to start from the extraction until you got the spray dried pineapple, spray dried bromelain. And this is the characterization, or we call it product sheets of our Epibrom TM. So the size and particles is fine powder and is dissolved easily. And if you put in the very cold water, it will dissolve. You just can drink it. And that and our talks. And in this project, we produced 2 papers. So paper using the plant stem. She's my PhD student, already submitted her thesis. So we have 1 paper on the amino acid production. This one for us to use for the animal feed. Another one on the functional properties of the stem. And before I end, I would like to acknowledge my research group. We call it Bioproduct Research Group. So I'm the main, and I have 6 very young researchers, very proactive researchers, and my collaborators. I have collaborators all over the world, and Chulalongkorn University is one of my collaborators at Faculty of Science. And this is the books that I informed. So we have published books about the utilizations of waste. So the first one is the biorefinery of oil-producing plants for value-added products. We published in 2022, 2 volumes with 32 chapters. So we have writers from Indonesia, Korea, all over the world. So this is published by Wiley VCH. Next is our book on pineapple and waste utilizations. So also published in 2022 by UPM Press. And this is hot from the oven, just published October 25th this year. It's on the chemical substitute from agriculture and industrial byproducts, also by Wiley. So it has 18 chapters because we specified the type of chemical substitute from agricultural waste, except except palm oil waste, the other type of waste. And this is ongoing, will be published on January 2024. This is a handbook of biorefinery and research technology. We have 8 sections. I'm the section editor. So it will be published live spring year reference online. So with that, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Sureni. She talked about interesting research outputs of her research group, starting with the basic science, connecting with the applied science, and it's really condemnable that her research contributions, not only in the area of the research, but also her contribution in literature is also like quite appreciable. So a big round of applause for her research outputs in the field. So all of the 3 speakers in our today's session, they shared very, very interesting outcomes of their research work concerning the green chemistry and personal health goals, as well as the sustainable economical goals, in parallel to the halal aspects of the food products, as well as the other halal origin of bioplastic as well especially from the Dr. Nazima. So we just have a short time, maybe hardly 5 minutes, to have a quick discussion and comments or question from audience. So please, if you have any question or comments for our today's speakers, you're more welcome. Anybody? Yeah, please.
They have been commercialized. I mean, we can buy the products in the market or not?
Yeah,
Those
Dr.
2
Nazima.
products. Yes, please.
Or the products? No. Yeah, we just do the research and publish at the moment. Yeah, but yeah, we're happy to commercialize anything.
Because it looks very, very healthy.
Oh yeah, actually that avocado seed snack is quite nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Further questions? We have, I think, from Dr. Umer.
Okay, so I really appreciate whatever you are doing. It should be gone for the commercialization, obviously. Did you go for the nutritional studies as well from these products, as well as, I think you mentioned just some of the anti-nutritional toxicants?
Yeah. So what we're doing is, we're going to characterize it, because at the moment we've just done consumer acceptance, and we will have to look at its antioxidant potential, the protein content, but I don't think that's much. It's going to be mainly carbohydrate, just like any extruded snack.
Yeah, but I'm asking about the anti-nutritional factors. If you
we can look at that. Yeah, so that's quite a lot in seeds, but usually with roasting, it will be reduced somewhat considerably. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, we have one more question, please, on the right-hand side. Please pass on the mic.
Just a very short question, because it's interesting even from Professor Nadima and also Pak Surani. It's about pineapple and also, of course, avocado. I just imagine Indonesia has a lot of abundant avocado. And then it's only just how about the cost structuring, so we be competitive, we can produce the avocado. And of course, there's a variety of avocado. This can be, your methodology can be used to all related to the variety of the avocado, because you know, the small ones, big one, and also there's another size. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, both avocado and pineapple, you know, one of the largest, largely consumed fruits, especially in the Southeast Asian countries. And these were very natural and very interesting aspects of using the utilization of the waste products. That is quite a bulk amount. Like we can see the seed is quite in bulk for the avocado, and the pineapple, including its crown, is just like a big waste of the fruit that is could be possibly utilized in so many ways, connecting the biochemistry and concerning the utilization of the dairy products from Dr. Umer's research outcome can also be broadened by studying further about the plant-based cheese to further broaden the scope of the research for the vegan-based food products as well. So with that, if we don't have further questions, though I would love to discuss further about those fields, but we just have a very short time now to compile the session. I would like to conclude today's session. Thank you very much to 3 speakers in our last session for your very valuable and interesting information concerning the topic of the halal-based products, and very much relevant to the title, like the digitalization of the halal initiatives for fostering the halal trust. And we look forward further to more outcomes coming ahead in the future from your research work. Thank you again. And thank you to the audience for taking your interesting questions and comments to just put more value to the scientific aspects of halal-based industry and the products, both concerning the food and pharmaceutical industry as well. Thank you very much, all of you.
So thank you so much again to our honorable speaker and moderators for your fruitful contribution to our last session of today's event. So on this occasion, may I have the honor to invite Associate. May I have the honor to invite Professor Dr. Nazima Hamid, Professor of Food Science at Auckland University of Technology, New Zealand, to present some tokens of appreciation to our speaker and moderators. So again, let me correct. May I invite Mr. Manat Seub Santikul, Assistant to the Director of the Halal Science Center, Chulalongkorn University, to preside on the stage to present some token of appreciation. So first of all, allow me to invite Professor Dr. Nazima Hamid, Professor of Food Science at Auckland University of Technology, New Zealand, on the stage. So next, may I have the honor to invite Professor Dr. Muhammad Umar Arshad, Chairperson of the Department of Food Science, Government College University of Faisalabad, Pakistan. And next, may I have the honor to invite Professor Dr. Suraini Binti Abdulaziz, Professor at Faculty of Biotechnology and Biomolecular Science, University of Putra, Malaysia. And lastly, may I have the honor to invite Dr. Simap Galwan from the Institute Nutrition Food Chemistry Unit of Mahidol University, Thailand. All right, may I invite all of you to remain on the stage for the group photo session, please. Ladies and gentlemen, again, a big round of applause for our speaker and moderator for the last question of today's event. All right, thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, our conference today has come to an end. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express our sincerest appreciation to all of the speakers and moderator today, as well as our audience, both on-site and online, for your contribution and continued participation in our first day of Thailand Halal Assembly 2023. May I have some announcement to be made? You might have already known that this night we are going to host for the welcoming dinner on the cruise for those of you who have registered for the dinner. So our appointment time is at 5:30 p.m. at the lobby of the hotel. The bus is going to leave from the hotel to the pier right away after the appointment time. So please make sure that you are not going to miss the bus. And also don't forget to tell us about your feedback and comment by scanning the QR code shown on the screen. We would be much appreciated to receive your kind feedback and comments of the last session for our further improvement of the next year event. So let me kindly announce again that the newly appointment time is at 5 and the new appointment time is at 6 p.m. Yes, so you have some time to rest at the room and arrange for your day. So please be on time at 6 p.m. at the lobby of the hotel. Okay, so all right, honorable speaker, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of today's program. And thank you very much for your kind attention and have a very good time for the rest of the day. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sawadee ka. Okay, so can I request